Charlamagne the God.
Andrew Schultz.
We are the Brilliant Idiots, and this week's episode of Brilliant Idiots is brought to you by Bevel. They say the holidays are about giving, and what's the perfect gift? Something classic, something useful, something like the Bevel shaving system, okay? Bevel is the first and only shaving system designed for coarse, curly hair and sensitive skin. That means it's not just for the blacks, it's for everybody. That means you and whoever you might gift the Bevel to can take on 2017 looking your best. Enjoy the first month of your Bevel subscription for free by going to getbevel.com/idiots. It's on us. That's getbevel.com/idiots. Start shaving smarter today. And salute to all the people who walk up on me in the street and they can't think of anything else to say. So they'll be like, Bevel.
Oh, that's what they say to you?
I'm like, okay. Right? Like, and then once they get it together, they be like, yeah, I listen to the podcast all the time, yo. Listen to Brilliant Idiots all the time.
Hey, shout out to Delilah's.
What the hell is Delilah's?
That's where the Loudspeakers Network party was last night. It was real. I mean, I saw people rolling up weed in the restaurant.
Oh, 20 minutes. I gave you 20 minutes and I was out.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
I was out.
You said, how much longer you staying?
I was out.
I was like 10 minutes.
It's certain elements I'm used to. Like, I'm, okay, taxes there, okay, we know. Mm-hmm. But who is the ugly nigga from Fan Bros?
Who?
The one that looks like the Alien and Predator combined.
The
one that's got the Predator's hair, but the Alien's
Ben
head. Oh my God! I don't like being in spaces with him. He looks like a wasp.
I like Ben Hameen. Stop it! Stop. You know what he looks like? He looks
like a wasp.
You know those twin brothers from The Matrix 2 that could go through walls and shit? They were like ghosts.
Hold on.
He's like a black version of that.
You never seen
I
a
like
wasp.
Ben Hameen.
I don't know Ben Hameen. He cool, I guess. I don't know him.
What happened? He was talking shit about you?
Oh, I don't mind that.
Was he talking shit about you? A little sensitive?
No, that's
You still a little sensitive about all this shit talking?
He does look like a wasp, though.
Let me see. Let me see a picture.
Tell me that's not Ben Hameen.
Huh? No, this is not Ben Hameen. Not in the least. Not in the least. Yeah, I know. No, listen.
He's what? He's what?
What? He's a nice guy. We were talking about Star Wars.
He looks
yesterday.
like one of the Toxic Crusaders, one of the Toxic Avengers.
I never saw Toxic Crusaders. Yo, what did he say to hurt you, bro?
I didn't hear it.
You sound real hurt right now, bro. What did he say? Tell me.
I didn't hear it.
Will you just be honest with me?
I did not hear it. I met him last night at the holiday party. I said, damn, I heard y'all was talking shit. I said, I didn't hear it, but I heard about it. And he was like, yeah, he was talking mad shit. You need to come on the show. I'm like, all right, cool. I don't mind the shit talking. How can I mind the shit talking when I talk shit? Like, everybody has an opinion. I think that we need to do more of that. If you don't like something someone said, you should speak out about why you don't like it. I mean, I've been doing it for years. Some people would even say that I've made a career off it. Yeah. So there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay. But it can make you a little sensitive sometimes. Somebody talks some shit. They hit low.
It don't make you sensitive.
Because a lot of people hit you low in the last couple of weeks.
That don't mean nothing. I mean, the situation.
I don't like it.
Do I like the situation? No, I don't like the situation. I don't like the situation not because of what I said or how people reacted. It's just as simple as when you come from a community like I come from, or just not even just a community, when you're a man, right, and the strongest people around you have been women, whether it's your mom, whether it's your grandma, whether it's your sisters,
get on their good side,
or whoever it is. No, I'm saying whoever it is, like those are the people, like when they come to check you, you're like, damn, I must have really fucked up. Yeah, that's like you saw Young Thug. Young Thug cursed out those people at the airport last week. You saw him post up on the gram yesterday when mama makes you go apologize. Yeah, that's real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when the women in your life come to you,
that was his actual mom, or like one of his boyfriends?
His mom. Okay. When the women in your life come and they check you, you like, all right, you have to pause for a second and really listen to their concerns and their gripes, and and
that's what you felt you had to do this week.
Absolutely.
Look, I said my piece on this whole thing yesterday. I'm just interested in you and what you've been going through the last week, and how do you feel? Do you feel regretful at all?
Absolutely not. The reason I don't feel regretful is because nothing happens for no reason. Mm-hmm. I always tell y'all nothing I say is malicious or with ill intent. Yeah. When I say things, it's because I really feel a way. And like what I was...
Nothing you say is malicious or with ill intent?
No.
Like when you played the Floyd Mayweather not being able to read.
But I told y'all that was wrong, though. I told y'all I did that for the wrong reasons. I told y'all I did that. I did that.
Things that you apologize for can be malicious or for ill intent.
I've never apologized for the Floyd Mayweather thing that I remember. Maybe I have, but I admitted that I did not feel good about that situation because the only reason I did that was because I saw Jimmy Kimmel, say, hey, I got $50,000 if Floyd Mayweather comes read a Dr. Seuss book or whatever. And I'm like, well, motherfucker, I got that content. I don't got to create. I got this. We got Floyd Mayweather reading. So it was more so a ratings thing. It was more so a let me get this out.
Gotcha.
Since this is what everybody is talking about. And it just didn't feel good.
Okay.
But with this situation, it's like, no. And I still stand by what I said, whether I worded it wrong or not.
I don't even think you worded it wrong.
We need an online news network. First of all, Tomi Lahren is going to be a voice, a young voice, for the conservative right for at least the next 4 years. Yeah. If Trump's presidency goes through, for at least the next 4 years, Tomi Lahren is going to be a young voice for the conservative right.
If Trump loses the next election, she'll be an even bigger voice.
Probably.
Because that many people will be upset about the outcome, and they'll be searching for news that represents them.
So what we need is an online news network with young, I believe, women of color, liberal women on the left. We need those voices speaking for the liberal women on the left.
Yeah.
Now, everybody got upset because I said create a platform. I didn't say women need to create platforms. Let's be clear on that. Never said women don't have platforms, but I'm not talking about entertainment with Issa Rae. I'm not talking about Karen Civil with lifestyle. I'm talking about online news networks. I even gave examples. Like the very next tweet was me posting a tweet saying, hey, where's the black news networks like the Young Turks? I gave examples. Yeah. But everybody took that one tweet. We don't want to be nothing like Tomi. Never told you to be anything like Tomi. I told you to follow Tomi's infrastructure. Like, why people act like they can't learn from their enemies? Even if you don't like somebody, why do you feel like you can't learn from that person? Look at what they're doing and see if what they're doing is working. Yeah. Who watches the fucking Blaze Network?
I mean, I don't know anybody.
The Blaze Network is white people's Revolt TV. All right? Nobody watches that shit, okay?
Shout out to Drink Champs.
So everybody is like... So,
is Tomi Noriega?
Nori's Tomi. Nori's making people fuck with Revolt. I mean, the Breakfast Club, people watch the Breakfast Club, but not like...
No, they don't.
No, they don't. They don't. I don't get...
They watch that shit on YouTube.
I don't get no tweets.
That shit, nobody's like, yo, Revolt TV was crazy this morning, dog. That shit
Never. And I be on there spitting that fire. And I get the fire. And I get it on the regular Twitter. People listening on radio, iHeart. I've never heard nobody say, did you hear what Charlamagne just said on Revolt?
Yeah, on channel 1030, you gotta watch Revolt. It's unbelievable.
So nobody watches Blaze TV, but what Tomi did that was smart. Because even if you go to the Blaze's website, you got to pay to watch the content.
You got to pay the content, yeah.
She takes those 2-minute clips.
Puts it on Facebook.
Put them on Facebook.
Right, absolutely.
They rip.
Yeah.
That's how she got the job in the first place. That's why it's good to sit down and keep with people that
she's
you disagree
been in media
with.
For a while.
She's been in media for a while.
And like private media for a while.
She started her political show in college.
Yeah.
She did a rant about Barack Obama. Went viral. That's when the Blaze hired her. Prior to that, the Blaze had turned her down.
Yeah.
For an internship.
Sure.
You know how I know that? Because I actually talk to people and I have conversations with
people. Yeah, she said it in interviews and that kind of stuff like that. Yeah.
So all I was saying was with the power that black women have on social media, women of color, because boy, I'll tell you something. I used to joke on this damn podcast and on the radio about how you don't want a bunch of crystals coming at you.
Oh, yeah.
Lord have mercy.
Dude, it's birth of a nation, bro.
Bruh, I done had a gun pulled on me, and that shit don't feel like that goddamn...
That heat that you were getting?
What?
They took your black card, bro.
Whoa.
They took your black card.
Whoa.
How do you keep your blackness these days? That's a tough thing to keep.
I don't know. Because you can't even be in a picture with a white woman.
If you take
Somebody took a picture of me
woman,
and Paige and was like, there goes Charlamagne again.
Who's this next bitch?
I'm like, Paige been with me for at least 6 years.
How you gonna
now.
take a picture with Ted Cruz's daughter when you know the platforms he stands for?
Bro, it's getting a little weird. I'm gonna tell you why it's getting a little weird. It's getting a little weird because a lot of us are turning out to be what we claim to hate. Like, you can't get upset when black people have conversations with white people. Like you just can't. Like you can't just jump out the window and be like, "Fuck Kanye," especially Kanye. And I'm gonna tell you why.
But can we finish this before we get into Kanye?
Yeah. So the moral of the story is, all I was telling women was, with the power that we have on social media, black women, because we blew Tomi up. I don't give a fuck what nobody says.
Yeah, we were talking about this last
I never heard of Tomi Lahren until she talked about Beyonce's halftime performance, and I saw Black Twitter going in on her. Y'all was sending me the links. I watched it. I gave her a donkey of the day. She invited me to come on the Blaze. We've been cool ever since. So if you're mad at me walking through her, if you're mad at me walking with her through Times Square, that's your fault. right?
No, yeah,
because I would have never known her.
That's what I was saying. It's like what they've managed to do. Well, last week we spoke about this, but what they've managed to do is monetize outrage. And the reason why there'll never be a black Tommy Lahren in this sense is because their white outrage is not allowed.
I heard that, which is a cool point, but they don't even have to be a black Tommy Lahren. You don't have to be nothing like Tommy Lahren. The same way you empower Tommy with hate, you can empower any of these other black women out here with love. You did it with Insecure. Every Sunday, Insecure trends #1.
It trends, but it doesn't get the views.
What?
Now,
it's coming back for the second season. She's nominated for a Golden Globe.
I said views.
She does great ratings.
Critical acclaim is different than
she
views.
does great in ratings, Schultz.
Say what?
I think he's right.
She does great in ratings.
She doesn't. But
Schultz, I'm telling you, I've looked it up. She does great in ratings.
Look at the ratings. And
she does great in ratings.
From what I've read is they considered not bringing it back because it didn't do amazing ratings. But the people that watched it were so devout.
Not true. I read the exact opposite.
What I read, and I honestly I can't even tell you the article, but what I read is that the people who did watch it were so devout, and then had Twitter popping, had social media popping, and the people were so interested they brought it back. Similar to what they did with that show Hannibal on NBC. Like, it wasn't a huge.
What the fuck is Hannibal?
It was this really good show. It wasn't hugely rated, but the people that watched it were so into it. Friday Night Lights is another one. So look, what I'm saying is ratings don't mean that a show isn't bad. I mean, this could be one of the best shows ever, but sometimes it takes a couple seasons for people to really get into it. Girls, for example,
my point right now.
No, the only argument I had was. The ratings weren't huge.
It's all the more reason you're proving my point. So
right.
If social media is that strong, where a network says...
Girls never had big ratings.
Decent. First
season. Never had big ratings. But the people that watched it were important. So the people that watched it were the bloggers. The people that watched it were Rolling Stone. The people that watched it, these girls who work for these advertising firms and that kind of stuff. So they inflated the value of it. And the same thing's going on with Insecure. And again,
Insecure does good ratings, though.
Again, I'm proving your point, which is...
Even if it didn't do good ratings.
Influencers
are... 3.2 million.
How much?
3.2 million.
Schultz is just talking.
Insecure?
Yeah.
I know. Schultz
is doing 3.2 million?
Schultz, I just told you that. Okay, yes. This guy's crazy as fuck. This shit did good. It did more than good.
I can't tell. That's like decent.
No, 3.2 is solid.
That's great for HBO. Are you crazy?
Yeah. I read
HBO.
I don't know.
That's great.
I read that it was doing less, but
you probably read it early on. Like you might have probably read the first couple episodes.
Fair.
By the end of the season, that shit was booming. But
point is that people support the show and they're into it.
How to Get Away with Murder, Scandal.
Absolutely.
When black women get behind something,
VH1 every show
they lift it up.
Literally, VH1. When we were kids, VH1 was the white old rock and roll channel.
Yeah,
I don't know if you remember this.
What was that show?
House of Rock, VH1.
Yeah, with the white dude, Brent Michaels.
Like every show was some kind of like weird rock and roll shit, and it slowly transformed to BET basically. I mean, there is more black programming on VH1 than, well, I wouldn't say BET, but clearly it's catering to black female audiences.
It is more black programming.
That's true. The Gary Owen show is on BET.
Exactly. It is more black programming on VH1. First of all, VH1 has more original programming. BET don't even have a lot of original programs. They might have 3 or 4.
Fair enough.
VH1 has more black programming. And guess what they say when they're in these meetings? We have to target
black women.
Black women. They do that for a reason. So all I'm telling y'all is y'all empower Tommy with hate. Mm-hmm. Y'all empower Insecure, How to Get Away with Murder, Scandal with love. Y'all empowered me with hate last week. Y'all was so upset at me that y'all talked about me so crazy and kept me so crazy. All the good interviews I've done, I think I've trended on Facebook maybe like 3-4 times. Mm-hmm. I've never been no #1 trending topic on Facebook.
Charlamagne, so this goes to what we're saying. Outrage speaks louder than celebration.
Not really.
It does.
I named 3 things that they celebrate. They celebrate Insecure. They celebrate How to Get Away with Murder.
Insecure doesn't trend #1 on Facebook
every
for
Sunday.
A whole week. For 2 weeks.
Not a whole week.
Scandal doesn't trend #1 on Facebook for 2 weeks.
Insecure did for 3 days for the final episode though. #1 on Facebook for 3 days.
Insecure doesn't trend for 2 weeks on Facebook.
Trend for 2 weeks.
Okay, that's what you said.
Not trending for a day.
You said 2 weeks.
But throughout social media,
earlier in this podcast, you said you were doing it for 2 weeks.
No, I definitely didn't trend for 2 weeks. But throughout social media, I trended #1 on Facebook. First, it was trending on Twitter when they initially went in, and then like maybe a day later or maybe 2 days later.
I swear to God, you said 2 weeks you were trending.
No. I mean, they've been talking about me for 2 weeks, but
that's what the fuck you said.
Well, actual trending, trended #1 on Facebook
Point is,
a day later.
There's power through celebration, but not the same power through hate. And we spoke about this on the podcast. It's
the exact same, and that's what we have to stop doing. It's the exact same. We just focus on the outrage.
Yeah, people focus on outrage more. Listen, that's what's more exciting. A car accident is more exciting than a car driving.
But this is my point. This is my point. It's all about numbers. It's simply when collectively those women of color get together, they can bring attention to anything. So all of these women that y'all were sending me last week that y'all say are already in these spaces and that we need to amplify their voices, yes, we should. And you know how you do it? By constantly talking about the content that they're creating. How are you talking about content that you hate more than content that you love?
Because we like talking about hate more than love.
But when you talk
hate is easier. Love is vulnerable. Showing love to somebody is a vulnerable act because you can be rejected. Showing hate is easy. That's why when your boy is dressed real nice and you want to compliment him, you go, "Why your jeans so tight, stupid?"
But they do it
it's
all the time.
It's a more difficult emotion to show.
But you do it all the time.
No, we don't.
Insecure.
We hate all the time. It's way easier to watch a game and go, "What the fuck is that guy wearing? What stupid ass play was that? What the hell's going on?" Than it is to be like, "Wow, Tony Romo, you know what? He's a hell of a quarterback." Or, "Wow, Dak is actually playing really hard out there, even though he's not succeeding." It's easy to jump on, or as Akash said, it's easy to dogpile. Everybody wants a dogpile.
Yes,
it's
but we don't even
human
realize.
emotion.
We don't even realize we're dogpiling. When a show like Insecure.
What happens when you and your girlfriend get in a fight, right? You get in a fight because your sock, or your wife or whatever, you get in a fight because you left your socks out there, right? Mm-hmm. The vulnerable thing for her to do is be like, "Listen, I really love you, and it kind of hurts me that you're not spending a lot of time with me, and I wish that we could just spend time together because I love spending so much time with you, and I just feel pain when we don't get to spend time together." But she goes, "Why can't you put your fucking socks away, you piece of shit, you asshole? Why don't you stop being a fucking asshole, leaving your stupid socks on the ground?" That is the internet. Mm-hmm. It is way easier to talk about socks than it is to talk about love.
You say that, but the truth to the matter is, right now, if you look at what the trending topics are, I guarantee you 5 of those 6 trending topics are something people are talking about out of love. Let's look. We don't even realize it. We just pay attention to the hate.
Tell a celebrity why you like them.
You said what?
That's one of the trending topics.
SAG Awards. I'm sure they're talking about all their favorite shows that were nominated.
Damn,
that's exactly what they're
bullshit.
doing.
They're saying, "What the fuck is this nominated for? That's a stupid movie. That shit sucks." Sandy Hook. That's not out of love. Wednesday.
The first one I see is Cheers to William H. Macy on the SAG Awards. SAG Awards nominees for outstanding performance.
So let's look at the trending topics.
Many rewards to him.
Trending topics. Sandy Hook. Definitely are positive.
SAG Awards. Positive.
Well, I don't know.
Well, it's probably both. Wednesday Wisdom. I don't know
Free Lauren.
Who the fuck is Free Lauren? That's got to be positive because you want somebody to get out of jail.
I stopped being hip when. That's hating.
Captain Fantastic.
Inform the electors. That's hating. Hal Clinton. That's hate.
Why are you skipping over? Stop.
I'm not skipping over.
You skipped over Captain Fantastic, which
I don't have Captain Fantastic. For me, it's 1 is Sandy Hook, 2 is Wednesday Wisdom, 3 is Free Lauren, 4 is I Stopped Being Hip When, 5 is Inform the Electors, 6 is Hal Clinton, 7 is Captain Fantastic, 8 is Buck Up, 9 is Mad Canada, 10 is Doris Payne, 11 is National Film Registry, 12 is Polly Shepard,
Tell us, celeb, why you like them. Like, it's literally a hashtag. My best holiday memory. I don't know which one you're looking at.
None of them shits are on my timeline. I'll show you.
Hashtag resist bigotry. Like, all I'm saying is whenever we want to celebrate something, whenever we want to talk about something positive, when we collectively come together to do it, we do it. Now, does hate travel faster? Absolutely.
Yeah, we're more attracted to it. It's easier. It's an easier emotion.
But it happens all the time with love. We just don't focus on that.
No one's saying it doesn't happen. All I'm trying to say is...
And it needs to happen more is what I'm saying.
Sure.
Like, you can't tell me...
Influenced by it.
You can't tell me how much you love crystals if you're not tweeting about the Read every week. Every week. Every week you should be tweeting about the motherfucking Read. Don't tell me how much you love Francesca Ramsey if you're not talking about MTV Decoded the way you are Tommy Lauren's bullshit videos on The Blaze. Okay? And I'm saying bullshit videos because that's how you feel they are. You can't, like, I always tell y'all, you don't consume content you hate. You consume content you love. You just think you hate it. Because you're not going to spend time...
You love to hate it.
Yeah, you're not going to spend time watching something that you don't like. Shit that I don't like, I don't speak about it. You actually love watching, Tommy.
Yeah, of course.
You do. You love watching.
Because outrage is empowering.
You love being pissed off.
It's empowering to be pissed off. It is empowering to these people to be outraged. It actually makes them feel good. When they go, look at this white bitch, she's so racist, they feel good. They feel like they're a social justice warrior. They feel like they're changing the world. They're tapping themselves on the back. That to them in their head is like they're out there picketing. and fighting for human rights. They really think that they're doing something when they're sharing the videos. The only thing they're doing when they're sharing those videos is helping out Tommy and patting her pockets. You are handing her money every time you share one of her videos. Handing her money.
Yes,
and it's funny that they criticize you for giving her a platform when they built her platform.
She has hundreds of millions of followers on Facebook, and I don't see anything wrong.
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, I was going to say that
hundreds of millions of followers. There's only 330 million people in America.
Followers, views.
Oh, views. Yeah, that's different.
Hundreds of millions of views on Facebook. Like literally, like Colin Kaepernick video she did had literally 67 million views.
Yeah, for sure.
And I guarantee it was a combination of both. You got people who agree with her and they're riding with her, but then you got
I bet you more people that disagree watched it.
Maybe, but either way, it's a perfect storm. It's a perfect storm because if you come
Floyd
out...
Mayweather. Monetize your haters and your celebrators.
Absolutely. If I'm Tommy Lauren and I come out...
She's the Floyd Mayweather of news.
If I'm Tommy Lauren and I come out and I got people hating me, but then I got people standing up to defend me against my haters and people that agree with me, it's a perfect storm.
Because then when you see her on The Daily Show, you want to see her lose. People are signing up to see her get embarrassed. They're signing up to see her lose a fight, to see her lose a match. That's exactly what it is. She's the Floyd Mayweather.
Nobody lost in that situation, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody lost in that situation. Trevor won. Tommy won.
Trevor needed that more than Tommy.
No, they both needed it.
No,
Tommy didn't need it because Tommy
doesn't need anything. Tommy was the hottest thing happening in the conservative news party.
No.
To date.
Now she's the hottest thing. No.
Tommy was the hottest thing happening or coming up in conservative news.
You know why? That was her first mainstream look. Bill O'Reilly never books Tommy Lauren if she doesn't do Daily Show.
Sure, but she doesn't need Bill O'Reilly. She doesn't need it.
Yes, she does.
No,
because the ultimate co-stars.
We're already talking about her, and like you said, she already had 60 million views, and every single video she puts out goes viral, etc. She already had a fan base. Trevor needed this because literally I can't remember another Trevor Noah interview. Trevor, can you?
No.
Exactly.
I watched Trevor, though.
I can remember Tommy interviews. I can remember Tommy interviewing Charlamagne the God. I can remember Tommy speaking about a bunch of different topics. Nobody was giving a fuck about Trevor. I mean, The Daily Show's ratings were really bad. And I'm not saying...
They weren't bad.
They were bad.
Decent.
They're bad for what Daily Show's supposed to be doing.
They were bad for what they were.
Exactly. And that's usually how you define ratings. It's like if you half, then you're doing bad. And if you're doing the same,
not when it's a regime change. When it's a regime change, you got to take all that in consideration.
I guess, maybe. But
who hosts all of that?
But point basically is right now, and you even made a comment about the Daily Show. Initially, when the regime change happened, you said that Daily Show is the Patriots. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. The system is so strong, it's going to do well no matter what. You did say that. I think you said it on this podcast. Yes, you did.
I would never say personally like that.
Either personally you said it to me or on the podcast.
Absolutely
the listeners can listen. But anyway.
Jon Stewart, you don't replace Jon Stewart. You don't take Tom Brady.
Son, that's what I said. Maybe this is through text. But look, here's the point. The point being is Trevor benefited from this more than anything because all of a sudden Trevor became a voice for the black community, which is what Comedy Central wanted him to be at least part of when he was on this. And he became a hero for the black community when he was shutting down this woman who was, I guess, saying things that the black community felt were incredibly racist and hateful. So now all of a sudden he got this moment where he could be championed and the black community can get behind him. And then he might have fucked it up by, her posting the picture of him sending her cupcakes or whatever. But the point being...
and the funny thing is Trevor never sent him.
What, the Daily Show sent him?
Yeah.
Well, that's why I think that she was using Trevor, and I think to a certain extent using you.
So what?
Well, I think you were doing the same thing.
If you can't be used, you're useless. You just don't let people misuse you. So what?
Well, that in a way...
We're all using each other. She's using Trevor's platform to get looks. He's using her as a guest booking to get looks.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, you think they just say, you know what, we should bring Tommy. No, they sat around in the room and they was like, yeah, you know what, we should bring Tommy. You know why?
Yeah.
Because Tommy got 70+ million views on this Facebook, whatever. We need somebody to be a foil to Trevor. Yeah. Like, why wouldn't you? I went on the Blaze back in February before anybody knew who Tommy Lauren was, not for no attention, not for no ratings, just because I like to debate, and I could easily dispute that the Black Panthers are anything like the KKK. Right. like that's just, I just want to go poke holes in that narrative.
Yeah, which you should.
Now you got to be careful. Now is when you be careful. It's like, all right, I rock with Tommy, but do I want to go do this? Do I want to go do that? Should we do this together? Now is when you pay attention to all of that, because everything now could be used for just ratings gain. Now is when you got to not let people misuse you.
Yeah.
Okay, why exactly do you want me to do this again? Or why exactly do you want me to be here? Or
you got to make sure that you don't become her, I'm not racist, look, I'm friends with him.
That don't mean anything, though.
It does.
It doesn't.
Because her followers will use it.
You got to have you got to have a very close closed mind.
Are you surprised that people are closed-minded?
No, I'm not. But just if Tommy was racist,
right?
Which personally, if you ask me, I don't necessarily think she is. You know what I mean? But if she was, just because she has a conversation with black people, kicks it with a black person, don't mean she's not racist.
Right.
Like you think? So you really think racists go around all day just like not talking to people that they don't like?
I mean, that would be what they should do.
That's what they should do.
Yeah, but
that's not reality.
No, I don't think that she's. Actually, I don't know her enough. I don't really think that she's hateful. I don't get a hateful vibe from her.
I get a hateful more than racist.
No, I don't.
Like, you know, it's so funny. Like, a lot of black women will say, we could never be like Tommy because if we did what Tommy did, we'd be considered angry. What's the first thing Trevor Noah said to Tommy?
Why are you so angry?
That's the first thing he said. If you go read any reviews about Tommy, that's what they all say. They're like, she's angry. Like, that's not a black thing.
Yeah.
It's like she comes off as angry.
Well, how do you feel about? Do you think you brought this on yourself?
What do you mean?
Like, do you think you brought this whole heat and all that kind of things that happened to you on yourself? And what do you think it is about you that you wanted to insert yourself in a situation that you weren't involved in?
What do you mean?
Like, the interview was with Trevor, right? And that interview got a lot of heat. You met up with Tommy. You didn't need to post a picture with her. You didn't need to do any of these things.
I was supposed to meet. I knew Tommy was coming to New York 2 weeks prior.
Right. But she canceled the Breakfast Club interview.
She canceled the Breakfast Club, but she still wanted to meet.
And yeah, but meeting is one thing. We don't post a picture every single time we meet. You know what I'm saying? You wanted to post a picture, you with her, and I'm sure you knew what would happen if you posted that picture.
I honestly I really didn't. I honestly thought it was just a funny picture because I put the picture in black and white, and I put "Do you see color?"
Yeah,
which was a funny bit from the Trevor Tommy thing.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be funny, and people was going to laugh.
Okay.
But then it's all of these articles, Charlamagne's problematic infatuation with Tommy Lauren. I am so sick of the word problematic. Let me tell you something. I'm going to give y'all some tips for black woman survival when you get attacked by a women of color on Twitter. Okay?
Please tell me.
Number one, mute the words problematic, marginalized, trash, and ashy. All right?
Well, you got ashy a lot?
What?
They were body shaming you?
Yes.
Is that allowed?
No, that's just a word that they use. Like, it's a term, like you ashy. So you mute.
I know.
Mute those 4 words, which I didn't, because I like to feel it. I wanted to feel it.
Yeah.
I wanted to feel it. I'm like, damn. I never thought this would happen to me. Like, women of color attacking me as much as I knew how they get down. So I wanted to feel it. I wanted to feel everything. So I didn't mute it, but I'm just giving y'all some tips for if you
can't handle
the heat. If you can't handle the heat, because there's some heat.
There's some heat there?
Bruh.
Yeah?
Bruh. It's a different kind of heat. I told you I had guns pulled on me.
And it wasn't the same.
I've been in fist fights. You see me, you almost get jumped in front of the red tape. That's nothing. Like, this was heat, bro.
Really?
It was heat. Because it's heat because it's like I said, it's like your cousins, your female cousins, your aunts, your sister, your mom, all on your ass about doing something.
Yeah.
And you like, I didn't even mean it in that way. Like, I had no ill intentions at all.
You didn't think that your ego got the best of you?
What do you mean?
You didn't think that there was this moment that was happening. You wanted to have your moment with Tommy and with the Breakfast Club. That got canceled, and you saw Trevor having this moment, and you're like, nah, I'm getting in this. I'm inserting myself in this shit.
Because I never do that. All I ever do is live my truth. And what I mean by that is the interview got canceled. Mm-hmm. So I went on the radio and talked about the interview being canceled. I'm not going to front to my listeners. Like, I never do that. Whatever's going on in the world.
I'm not saying you're lying to anybody. Yeah. I'm saying.
So, but that when I didn't know Harvey was going to call me and be like, oh shit, she canceled. I wonder why she canceled. Right. So then it was TMZ interview. Like, oh, okay. I didn't know y'all gave a fuck like that.
Right.
Then us leaving Viacom, she was there at Viacom to meet me, but she was also there to have meetings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she was having meetings all day long.
Right.
You know, so we come downstairs, she's there. Me and Tommy had great conversations about social issues. And I was having conversations with her about why her rhetoric is dangerous for black people, because you're painting false narratives of black people. I bring y'all in on a conversation. One conversation we had, I said to her, I go, you know, how can you support hate? I mean, support Trump when he empowers such hate. Mm-hmm. And she broke it down how she supported Trump because he's anti-establishment and anti-government. Yeah. And she said, and you know, I'm not going to lie, I've been to his rallies. And it is a faction of people at his rallies who are straight up racist.
Sure.
Like, straight up racist. But that doesn't represent the whole totality of the movement. So I go, well, you got to look at the Black Lives Matter movement the same exact way. Absolutely. If you see some guys walking down the street saying kill all cops and fuck cops and this and that, you can't say that is what the Black Lives Matter movement represents. But you got to think, everything's about perception. She saw that, then she was in Dallas the night that guy went and killed all those cops. Yeah. And that night, she was getting death threats. And that night, people were posting her parents' address saying they were going to go kill her parents.
Yeah.
So in her mind, this Black Lives Matter thing is just the most evil, dangerous thing in the world because she saw that video and she had that experience in Dallas. Does that make her narrative of BLM right? Absolutely not. Does it make me understand why her rhetoric about BLM is that way? Yes. So we had the conversation about, okay.
We should afford the same courtesy to everybody, though.
Of course.
But we don't.
No, we don't. We don't have enough conversations.
Well, no, I think we have conversations in an echo chamber. We have conversations just with people who agree with us.
Absolutely.
You know, but I think because you can make the exact same argument when we talk about how white people are devils or white people are awful or white people are in control of this and they want to keep their white things so that white people succeed. And it's like, is that all white people feel that way, or are there a very small faction of white people
that's the worst thing in the world?
But my point is, we get really upset when a Tommy Lahren will say something like that, comparing the actions of very few people in Black Lives Matter and comparing them to the KKK and saying that's awful. But we, in the exact same sentence, will extend those same views and beliefs towards entire races and think it's okay. But my point
I've done it with Trump supporters.
Is it so...
Exactly,
that was my point about Trump supporters. Why do we feel so comfortable? Like your boy, not your boy, but Trevor Noah has spent the last 4 months shitting all over Trump supporters and blaming Trump for those supporters. And then when the coin was flipped and he was asked to say that when he said the exact same thing about Black Lives Matter, it's like, no, that's a small faction of the people who support Black Lives Matter, not the entire Black Lives Matter movement. He couldn't see that that's the same coin, just the other side. Heads or tails.
Election season is different. I'll tell you why election season is different. Election season is different because we're trying to paint a narrative of a candidate and we're trying to shame people to not support this guy.
Yeah.
So if we say all Trump supporters are racist, all Trump supporters are bigots, then maybe people will be like, well, damn, is something wrong with me if I support Trump? That's why you don't hear anybody out here with their hand up, I voted for Trump.
Yeah, well, maybe have some fucking integrity and don't do that.
Of course. But
maybe don't do it. Maybe stop trying to shape. No, but we don't.
We all generalize.
I mean, look, yes, we all generalize. What I'm saying is I like consistency. That's all. Either you generalize everything that way, either all Trump supporters are racist pieces of shit and all Black Lives Matter people hate white people, hate cops and want to kill cops, or there's a small group of people in both movements that are hateful.
Yes. How about we start dealing with more nuance, America?
Yeah, there's levels to this shit.
America has to do. America has to start dealing with more nuance. America hates nuance. We like extremes. It's either this or it's that.
Agree.
No. What about that whole gray area in the middle? It's nuance.
There's so many levels to everything. Like I was watching this great interview with this guy who was talking about the idea of privilege and that kind of stuff like that. And he was, I think it was Jordan Peterson. He's an interesting guy. He was on Joe Rogan's podcast. Mm-hmm. He's an interesting professor from Toronto, and he was just breaking down this idea, of privilege and how it's so nuanced. It's like, okay, there's white privilege, but there's also women that are white, and women are marginalized by society. So do they have the same privilege as a white? We've done research that says 2 parents in a household is the most beneficial thing that you can have. So if you're a single parented white person, do you have less privilege than a 2-parented black person? What about an Asian person? If you're an Asian person, like
individual privilege. That's the point of my book.
Sure.
That's why I call it Black Privilege. Opportunity comes to those who create it. People are looking at that title thinking I'm just talking about black. No, I'm talking about privilege, period.
But we chop things up into these dichotomies because it's easier for us to digest. And you'll see people, and it's so funny because this kind of thinking, it spreads. It's not contained to just America. Like I was in Toronto, right? And are you listening?
Yeah.
I was in Toronto.
That was a black woman texting me.
Okay.
I stop everything for black women.
For black women, now you got it now. Well, I was in Toronto doing an all-black female podcast as part of my Charlemagne Apologia tour.
I did one of those this week by accident. I didn't even mean to. Jamila Lemieux, salute to Jamila Lemieux.
Yeah. I saw her and Amanda or Amber.
Ashley.
Oh, Ashley. Well, the girl that was Amber. Amber was on The Breakfast Club.
Amber, right?
Yeah. So
Amber, right? Yeah, Amber Phillips. And so Jamila was supposed to come on anyway because she wanted to talk about Planned Parenthood because she didn't like what Nick Cannon said about Planned Parenthood. So she wanted to come on because she's pro Planned Parenthood. So she was gonna come on anyway, but it just so happened everything happened with the, me pissing off all black women. Sure. So she decided to come on the show, and then I ended up doing Phoebe Robinson's podcast this week, which was already scheduled. Yeah. And I told Phoebe, I said, "Yo, I'm doing a black woman apologist tour." I didn't even realize.
There it is. So I went when I was up in Toronto, and I'm gonna start doing this every time I go to a different city. Is do the whatever like the cool podcast is in that city. Mm-hmm. When I'm on tour, so I was doing shows up in Toronto. Shout out to Toronto, so dope. But I did Galcast, which is a all black female like West Indian podcast out of Toronto, and it was so much fun. I sat down with these girls, we chopped it up. I mean, I don't know when the episode is going to be out, but and it was interesting talking to these girls about the Black Canadian experience. Because Black Canadian experience historically is very different than Black American experience. There's not the same history of racism or slavery, right? So a lot of the black people that are in Canada right now moved there like in the 70s. So they went there willingly. It was their choice to go from Jamaica or other places in the West.
They didn't take that Carnival cruise.
They didn't take that Carnival cruise, baby. They didn't take that free trip.
That Carnival cruise, the oppression, baby.
You want a vacation? So
worst
basically,
timeshare ever. Jesus Christ.
So basically, and I was talking to them, and they were sharing a bunch of the same ideas and ideology, and we had a great conversation. Listen to the podcast when it comes out. But some of the girls were sharing the same ideas and ideology that the black people in America feel, and the way that they feel slighted and the way they feel oppressed, and I was surprised by it because I didn't think Canada had that same sentiment towards black people, and I wonder if they've been gravitating towards this American sentiment because they've been influenced by it. Because at one point, one of the girls goes, and this shit was funny. She was like, "Listen, white supremacy is real out here, and it is hurting our lives, and we want reparations. I'm still waiting for my 40 acres and a mule." And I go,
"Jesus Christ, that's an old playbook."
But not the dog. You didn't do the work to get the 40 acres. The 40 acres and a mule is for people who were slaves in America. If you came to Canada, which didn't have slavery in most of the country, you know what I mean? In the 70s, you don't get the 40 acres and a mule.
You didn't stick it out.
You got to do the work. You were chilling in Jamaica.
Even if you had ancestors in America, you got to stick it out in America. You got to thug it out with us, bro.
Yo, that's all I'm saying. But there is this idea of unified oppression, and it's starting to gravitate, I think, outside of the States amongst black people. And I think you see parts of it in London.
It's not just a race thing anymore, though.
But what is it?
It's everything. Like, you got just these marginalized group of people who all are feeling oppressed, whether it's black people, whether it's black women, whether it's the trans community, whether it's the LGBT community, whether it's women, like whether it's Native Americans. Like, it's just a whole bunch of people who feel marginalized, and everybody feels oppressed, and everybody's clicking up and fighting their own individual wars, which I totally understand, but it's going to come a point in time where we're going to have to choose diplomacy over division. And my problem I have with people coming at me for having a conversation with Tommy Lauren, even though I understand all of y'all gripes and I listen to them all, when you see Kanye talking to Donald Trump, how are we going to ever get anywhere if we don't ever come to the table and kick it? Like, we can't just be in the echo chamber complaining about what's wrong and what all the problems are to each other. We can't fix each other's problems, but if we do have a direct line of communication, put it like this. I see all these people, like I said, coming at me, and I always saw them going at Tommy. And I gave Tommy Donkey of the Day twice. Then I saw her on Trevor Noah. And when I saw her on Trevor Noah, it was the same kind of rhetoric, Black Lives Matter is like the KKK. Before it was Black Panthers like the KKK. So I'm like, when I see Tommy, I got to talk to her about that. Yeah. Like, that was my mindset. When I see Tommy, I have to talk to her about that. Yeah. Because we correspond through email, we text, whatever. Like, this is weird to me. Like, it's weird to me that you still have this mindset. And the main conversation I wanted to have with her, before I could even ask, somebody else asked it in the room, is this really you? Or are you just doing this for the attention? Yeah. Because that's the other hook you got to watch for in 2016 going into 17, which is just as dangerous, if not even more dangerous. Yeah. Because if you're pushing false narratives just to get attention, you're foul.
I mean, I respect people
who really feel the way they feel.
Absolutely.
And say it.
Yeah, and back
it up. If people get on them about it, that's who they are. But if you're just doing it for attention, that shit is corny.
But that's every single news organization out right now. From CNN to Fox News to MSNBC to The Blaze to all that shit. Whatever is hot, whatever is clickbait, they will put it out and they will feed that narrative that already exists. Like right now, the narrative that exists is Russia is in control of America, is in control of the elections, totally gamed everything because they got Trump in their pocket, this, that, the other.
Investigation going on.
Now there's an investigation.
It could be true.
There's an investigation going on. It could be true, but if you've noticed, that's the new race story. Remember in the election we were talking about race? Everything is race and racism. Now it's shifted to Russia controls us, right? The media is totally shifted to how we can scare you. Oh, is this scary, this Russia thing? All right, boom, let's tap into it. And it's bullshit and it's disingenuous.
Listen, that's
what's bullshit about it.
Say again?
What's bullshit
about it? There's no proof whatsoever that shows that they have. Well, okay,
they're investigating now.
Here's what's bullshit. Is it bullshit that real emails were exposed? These aren't fake emails. These aren't fake correspondences about the DNC. What's bullshit is that you have these things happening within the DNC and within the RNC. That's bullshit that we have to deal with, right? If they're exposing things that actually happen within our country, if Russia's exposing that, okay, it's happening in our country. They're not making it up.
If that happens, Donald Trump's absolutely out of here. You know why?
Why?
Because he told Russia to hack us. He said during the election, people forget about that little soundbite.
Right.
He told Russia to hack us.
Go get in Hillary's emails. He granted Russia permission essentially to hack us. You can't have a president doing that.
Power to grant it. He wasn't a president. He was a presidential candidate. There's a complete difference.
Trust me. If they find
not grant, invite, whatever term you want to use.
Permission to hack Chris Moreau's emails. It doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything, but a president or a presidential candidate should not be doing that.
Stop grasping at straws.
That's not straws.
No, that's not a straw.
Fucking bundle of hay, man. Like,
first of all, our systems should be sophisticated enough where we can stop hacking.
Our systems should be sophisticated enough that we're still not counting votes 2 months after the goddamn election. Yeah, America has fourth world country,
which Hillary continues to lose.
In cyber shit, okay?
Yeah.
Our cyber whatever protection is terrible.
All I'm saying is we seem to be more upset that Russia potentially hacked these organizations than we are at the organizations.
That's not the issue.
Let me finish.
It's not the issue.
At the organizations for doing this corrupt shit. We should be more upset with ourselves. We should be more upset with the DNC. We should be more upset with the RNC than we are. Yes, if somebody steals my money,
we should be upset that our
let me finish.
You're focusing on a very small part of this. You got to look at the big picture. If Russia hacked both the DNC and the RNC, but only released the DNC emails, there's a reason for that. They didn't do that out of the goodness of their hearts.
Okay, so
what does our president owe them for not releasing the RNC?
You're like a conspiracy theorist.
That's not a conspiracy theorist, man.
This is
that's what the conversations on CNN and MSNBC are about. Are you actually listening to the conversation?
I'm listening to these conversations.
This isn't like a bunch of people on Alex Jones InfoWar talking about this. This is the CIA's own report.
You know what is honestly pathetic? This is pathetic. The fact
you brought it up.
No, and I brought it up in a critical way. I didn't bring it up in a celebratory way. But these are the
conversations they're having on CNN, MSNBC, even Fox.
These conversations on CNN, MSNBC, Fox, right? That are giving Russia all this credit, that are giving Putin all this credit, and we got to be scared of Putin. We got to be scared of Russia, and Russia controlling, and is Russia actually doing a coup within the United States of America?
They're simply asking what if.
Trump isn't giving us any reason to be like, this is ridiculous.
We're putting Russia on a pedestal, and it's pathetic, it's un-American, and it's absolutely nonsense. There's no fucking way in hell Russia could have any control whatsoever of America and American interests.
Like an arrogant
absolutely
American.
None.
You sound like
I'm an American that believes in the system and has believed in this country and its ability to actually,
guess what?
On some level, control the world for the last couple hundred years. Listen,
somebody did hack it.
Listen, you guys are scared. I'm just not scared like you guys.
Well, who hacked it?
Look, me personally.
Who hacked it?
Who hacked what?
Who hacked the emails? Who put out the WikiLeaks?
WikiLeaks is Julian Assange.
Who hacked Hillary's emails and put them out?
Honestly, I don't know who put them out.
So
I don't care.
You can't discount Russia?
I don't care. And even if they did, okay, so what? You really think that all those people voted for Trump? You think that they read 33,000 emails? You think those factory workers out there with fucking one tooth in West Virginia were peeling through 33,000 emails?
Because this is what they're talking about.
That's the issue. What does he owe them?
Clearly, he's in cahoots.
What does he owe them?
Chris, the issue?
Yeah.
The issue is not why didn't he release it. The issue is why didn't they? Putin. Let's say it's Putin.
Okay.
Let's say it's Putin.
Okay.
If somebody robs my house,
got it.
Right.
Yeah.
And somebody tells me that my house was robbed, am I more upset at the person who tells me that my house was robbed or the person who robbed my house?
What if 2 houses on the block were robbed, but he only tells you about one of them?
Yep.
He's trying to protect the robbers who robbed the second house.
Yep. Sure. Let's say he's trying.
So that, to me, it's a concern that Russia is trying to protect Trump. What is in their interest?
And I've already spoken about this on the podcast.
He's denied even talking to them.
I've already spoken about this on the podcast. I've already said that, yes, does Russia have more control over Trump because they have more bad information on Trump than they did over Hillary, and they want him to use that as leverage? Sure. But I refuse to go down this pussy-ass beta male path where I'm afraid that fucking Russia has any control of us whatsoever. We will sanction Russia's ass under the ground if we want to.
This is the opposite of beta.
This is the most.
This is the opposite of beta.
The most
This
beta.
is addressing something, man.
Bullshit.
That's
It's
alpha.
fear-mongering nonsense. It's fear-mongering nonsense.
Know it's fear-mongering nonsense.
And honestly, beta males get caught up in the fear, and alpha males don't. It's really, this is this pussy-ass shit that's happening in America.
Alpha males get their heads knocked off because alpha males think that they can't be beat.
No, because alpha males don't get beat.
That's not true.
That's exactly what happens. And if we got to go handle business, then we go handle business.
It's
very simple.
You want to go to
beta
war
males,
with
beta males, if we have to.
Okay, you're talking a lot of shit.
If we
you're
have
not
to.
going to do shit.
If we have to. How you know I'm not going to do shit?
Because I know it.
How?
What are you going to do?
What am I not going to do?
Everything.
If I got to go to war, I got to go to war.
No.
Why would I not?
Fuck
Why would not?
You got drafted, you go to war?
Hell yeah, I would. My father was in the Army. I would absolutely be in the Army.
You pussy.
Absolutely.
Andrew Schultz, Young Heezy, live from Toronto.
I absolutely.
5-year run.
Listen, hold on. You cowards wouldn't fight for your country?
Absolutely.
Hell no.
You pussies. You don't even deserve the freedom you get here. Both
I deserve every
Go fucking somewhere else. Go to Russia, you fucking pussies.
You wouldn't fight for
talking
your
like a bunch of maggots. Why don't you go do your maggoty ass shit in fucking Russia,
don't ask,
motherfucker.
don't tell, because ain't no pussy when you're in them bunkers.
Exactly. That's
you
right.
on the ground.
That's right.
They sending you.
Hell yeah.
Like, yo, you know who done blew up in America?
Who?
Kassang. He blew up as soon as you left, Andrew.
All right,
like,
shit.
Fuck.
All I'm saying is if you're not willing to fight for what you have, you don't deserve it. And that is the reality of the matter. If you have a girlfriend and someone disrespects her, you're just going to let him disrespect her?
Why you never joined the Army?
Because I haven't needed to join the Army.
Why not? You want to fight for your country? Your country's always at war.
Yeah.
Your country always has something to fight for.
First of all, no, the country doesn't always have something to fight for.
And you said your father was in the military.
My father was in the military. If I was drafted, you said. My father was drafted. There was a mandatory draft in the Vietnam War era. If I was drafted, if we had another mandatory draft, I would go. It is not in my interest now to fight for the country.
Pussy?
Say again?
You think Muhammad Ali's pussy?
I think Muhammad Ali had a very right... I agree with his stance on it, and my father. Let me tell you something. That my father, because I asked my father about that, and because my father would see these. You know, a lot of his friends went to Vietnam and died. My dad asked actually to be sent over to Vietnam in some capacity, and the Army wouldn't allow him to go. And I asked him, what did you feel like, for this war that was a bullshit war? It was really a war that we shouldn't have been involved in the first place. And he goes, you know what always bothered me? I would see people, Americans, take it out on the soldiers. And I'd see Americans throwing stuff at the soldiers sometimes, calling these soldiers pieces of shit, calling these soldiers assholes, calling these soldiers murderers when they came back. And he goes, that never sat right with me because these soldiers didn't make the decision. A lot of these soldiers thought that they were doing what was right for their country. And a lot of these soldiers really believed in their country and believed in these freedoms. And the powers that be are the ones that should have been held responsible for that, not these soldiers that were giving their lives and really risking their lives for what they thought was a just cause. So with Muhammad Ali was not only brave enough but wealthy enough where he could make a situation that where he could stop going. Basically, say I don't want to go to war, and I could still take care of my family. Well, you could say money
because you went to jail. He got his belt stripped from him.
But his family
he couldn't fight for 5 years.
Sure, but his family still ate.
He could have got his prison. He could have got locked up.
His family still ate. It's a lot easier to go to jail for 5 years when you're a millionaire than it is when you're making $30,000 a year.
Okay.
But what I'm saying
tell you the one fundamental reason I would never go fight for this country.
Sure,
because of the treatment of his motherfucking veterans. All these people that have been to fight, whether it's Vietnam, Iraq,
you wouldn't go fight because you pussy.
I don't care.
Okay, so don't make it about veterans. Stop trying to sugarcoat it into something. I really want to care for the vets because 5 seconds ago you just weren't fighting because you weren't fighting.
Answer this one question.
So keep it real.
Get out of Schultz mode for a second. Answer this one question.
Listen, don't worry.
What's honorable?
Don't be intimidated by Schultz mode.
What's honorable about fighting for a country that don't even give a fuck about you after you fight for it? What's honorable? You got your chest out talking about you don't deserve the freedom, whatever. You come here and you oppressed. You come back from fighting and you're on fucking homeless.
You don't. You don't deserve it if you're not willing to fight for it.
So what about the people that went to fight for it and still oppressed?
First of all, I have to speak to
ain't got no fucking legs sitting on the fucking corner asking us for $1.
Listen, it is awful the way that a lot of the veterans are treated when they come back. We have to find systems to treat our veterans better. Actually, to be honest, one of the things...
Find a system. It's America. You want to fight for this country.
Listen, we have to find the best way to treat veterans when they come back.
NFL players get pensions and retirement shit. NBA players do.
So do veterans.
It should be enough to where they can live happily ever after.
I agree with you completely.
Forever.
If you're willing to risk your life, then we got to take care of your life when you're back here. Listen, I'm completely on the same page. But... me personally, if there was a draft, I would not dodge the draft because I've benefited from all the freedoms of this country, and I'm not going to allow myself to benefit it, suck all the freedom out of it, and then when shit goes down... let's say Russia attacks us. You think Russia attacks us, blows us the fuck up? You know, the second that we were attacked on 9/11, I was in New York on 9/11. You know what me and all my friends did? We were on 23rd Street. I was going to school on 23rd Street in Lexington. No, we didn't go beat up a taxi cab driver. Okay? Because we know the difference. We know the difference between Sikhs, okay? Sikhs, which black people don't know the difference. That's why they're beating up fucking cab drivers. White people from fucking Long Island don't know the difference. That's why they're beating up cab drivers. But in the city, right, we know the difference between Sikhs and Muslims, and even those Muslims obviously are not terrorists.
So who'd y'all beat up for no reason?
So we didn't beat up anybody, but literally the thing that we did was we thought it was war. We thought people were attacking us in that city, and literally we're in school. We're like, yo, we need to go out here. We need to find some fucking guns. We need to go. Literally, it was like that. We had no clue what was going down.
That sounds like
it was
South.
Like, let's go, bro. It literally was that. It's like, okay, we need to go. And then after that, I'm at my house. They let a few of us go. I took all my friends back to my house, and we're calling up 311. We're calling up 411. We're calling the police. Where do we go help? How should we go down to the towers? Do you guys need people?
Blood.
Do we go give blood? Do we go assist everything? It's like, and at that moment they didn't know how many people were dead or how much blood was needed, but et cetera. It's like we are there for the cause.
That's not going to war.
Yeah, hold on. When a plane goes into a fucking building, right? You don't know if war isn't actually happening in that moment. We didn't know I think at that moment they were saying Palestine did it or something like that. We had no clue what the fuck was going down. So in that moment we thought it was an act of war. They were calling it an act of war, and we didn't know if that war was going to continue. So we wanted to do whatever we could do to help. What we didn't do is sit our pussy asses down and go, well, I don't know how I'm going to get treated after war, so I'm not going to do it.
You do know the first law of nature is self-preservation, so your body automatically went into defense mode. Anybody would do that. Anybody would say, I'm going to grab my motherfucking guns, I'm going to go home and hold my motherfucking
Self-preservation is
down.
let me get the fuck out of the city.
No, it's not.
Self-preservation is not, I'm going to the scene of the crime, I'm going to go help, I'm going to risk my life to help people, I'm going to risk my life to go down.
All that on
That's
your helping. I still wouldn't go fight.
Yes.
Because you're making a big, I got a blackjack, brass knuckles, and went to give blood. I took some weed.
As you should.
I fucking went and armed myself, and I was like, it's war out there. But here's the thing. That was an attack on America specifically. You're making a big distinction. Like Vietnam, Afghanistan, Iraq, all these wars.
I don't agree with them philosophically.
Those are imperialistic wars, man.
I agree with you.
Yeah, if the Russians are in New York Harbor, I'm going to fight.
That's my point.
I'm not going to fucking...
But now,
in New York Harbor.
Now you're going to fight. What I've just said earlier is if there was an attack in America...
Vietnam was
no,
not
you didn't. You said if there was a
freedom.
draft.
That was a con.
Listen,
that was
first of all,
if there was a draft, you wouldn't dodge.
If there was a draft, I wouldn't dodge. But second of all, first of all, I don't question people who dodge an unjust war. I'm not going to lie about that. But if there was...
All of them unjust.
That's not true.
I'm trying to figure out which one was just.
Pearl Harbor, we're not supposed to do some payback on Pearl Harbor? You're going to blow up fucking Hawaii? You're going to kill thousands of innocent Americans? There's no payback for that? Sign me the fuck up.
That was not... You're taking a very simplistic view of that. That was not, hey, we were just minding our business and all of a sudden the Japanese came and bombed Pearl Harbor.
Actually, quite literally, we were minding our business.
No, there was a very long build-up to that. We essentially invited them to do that. They had information.
There's arguments about that conspiracy theory nonsense.
Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
Basically, there's a theory that, the war was already going on.
And America was neutral, so we were literally minding our own business.
And the European, the Allied powers wanted us to come into the war. There was factions within America that wanted us to stay out of it. There were factions that wanted us to get in. Mm-hmm. And there was information that they knew that there was an attack planned on Pearl Harbor, and they intentionally ignored it because the factions that wanted us to get into the war knew we needed that moment. Just like with Vietnam as the Gulf of Tonkin. Or the Spanish-American
War.
War.
Sounds very familiar. That sounds very 9/11.
You need a moment to galvanize
galvanize
the people.
The people.
Americans won't support a war.
Unless
right,
we were just bombed. They just bombed us. They snuck attacked us.
Also, 9/11. Also, let me add a little bit more to that experience. At this point in time, Americans don't identify with England, right? If you looked at the American breakup at that point in time, right? Americans were German. My last name is Schultz, right? Americans were German. Americans were Italian. Right. How many Italians are there in New York, right?
A lot.
So if there's anybody that Americans were kind of allied with in this very neutral stance, it almost seemed like it would be Germany, it would be Italy, it would be these other countries.
There were real concerns about that.
And there were real concerns.
Who's the one population that they actually rounded up, though? Not Germans, not Italians, Japanese.
Well, the Japanese were the ones that attacked us. I mean, that's why they did that.
Okay, but we were at war with Italy the Japanese and Germany, and they're much larger. Okay, I understand Italian and German.
I understand
but they didn't round anybody up in
your Asian victimology argument.
Schultz ain't going to Iraq to fight no guy.
First of all, no.
Now,
my point
is, of the story.
But that's not what I said. It was if a country invaded us or tried to invade us or attacked us, I believe in fighting for your freedoms and fighting for this lifestyle. And if somebody tried to infringe, it is what I said. It's not what you want it to say.
That's not what you said.
Because you don't want to sound pussy like you wouldn't support it.
You said you wouldn't dodge the draft, and you would go fight for this motherfucking country.
I wouldn't dodge it, bro. I would fight for it.
You wouldn't have to dodge it if they came here. We'd just be fighting. Like if somebody ran in this room just now, I don't give a fuck who they are. We gonna fight.
Let me tell you something. Omaha Steaks.
This guy.
Let me tell you something. This is real shit.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I never thought I would say these words. I hope they reinstate the draft.
You want me to?
Because I'm gonna be too old for this shit. But Schultz, he's prime, baby.
Now, I will say this. I will say this. I do have flat feet. Okay, and I don't know if that makes me exempt from going to war. I don't know how that shit works.
I'm like my knees. You saw the
my
ankle. Me with Jason Williams?
You ain't hit me. I've been hesitant motherfuckers for years. How am I supposed to go to Iraq when I've been hesitant all these motherfuckers?
Like, what if we send you in Tim's? We send you in Tim's and fatigue.
I could be like, fine. All right, fine. Anyway, look, today's episode is brought to you by our newest sponsor, Omaha Steaks. Omaha, they believe in America. You know what I mean? They believe in the freedoms. And if you're struggling to find the perfect gift for someone who has it all right, with the holidays fast approaching, get the perfect gift and avoid long lines by giving the gift of a juicy Omaha steak. I'm not going to lie to you. I've had Omaha steaks before. Delicious. It is a delicious, delicious steak. I fuck with Omaha Steaks. I had it at a barbecue, and this was over the summer, and then I had it again. It was once in like the fall, and absolutely delicious and savory. And I'm kind of like a steak guy. I'm into my steaks a little bit.
I love steaks. I eat too much beef, I think.
Really?
Absolutely. I love beef.
I love
steak. I love steak. I'm not gonna say I love beef because I'm not really a hamburger person.
Yeah.
I like.
You want to cut off the animal?
Oh my god, I love that shit.
See?
Man. Fuck a cow.
Anyway, point is, the question a lot of people are asking is why Omaha Steaks? Because the great steak experience can happen right at home. Okay, they use the highest quality cuts and ingredients to get one-of-a-kind flavor. The meat is aged for 21 days to unlock flavors that are full. Okay, juiciness that is necessary. It's hand trimmed and vacuum sealed for optimum taste. And Omaha Steaks goes the extra mile by providing you with online recipes, wine pairings, and so much more. Still not convinced, Charlemagne? Well,
I am
right
convinced.
now.
I like Omaha Steaks. I mean, the meat is aged for 21 days to unlock full flavor of the cuts. It's hand trimmed and vacuum sealed for optimum taste.
I was just telling them that. Why don't you tell them about? Why don't you tell them about all the different types of steaks that they could get?
Okay, you got 2 filet mignons, you got 2 top sirloins, 2 boneless pork chops, 2 boneless chicken breasts, 4 Jewish sausages, 4 burgers, a 12-ounce package. What is that,
Kielbasa?
That's Jewish, right?
Okay, no, it's Polish, which is the opposite.
I know it was an ish.
It's the opposite because they killed all the Jews in Polish.
Okay. All right. A 12-ounce package of all beef meatballs, 4 potatoes au gratin, 4 caramel apple tartlets, 1 Omaha steak seasoning packet, plus get 4 additional kielbasa sausages for free.
So just go to omahasteaks.com, enter our code IDIOTS in the search bar, and add the family gift pack to your cart and get 77% savings. 77% savings. It's the gift guaranteed to hit this Christmas, this Hanukkah, this Kwanzaa.
Yeah.
Get yourself some steaks, okay?
Now let's put a button on this Tommy Lauren thing.
Okay, yes.
I don't feel like, well, put it like this. I'm a communicator.
Yes, you are.
So when you're a communicator,
a highly skilled communicator, I will give you that.
But you have to take, you have to take the L when you miscommunicate something.
Okay, sorry.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't think you did, but
I mean, but some people got it. But it was too simple a concept for more people not to fully understand what I was getting. So maybe I should have been more technical, and maybe it should have been something that I said in long form. I was listening to Kid Fury and Crystal last week, and what they said made a lot of sense. Crystal was like, I don't get paid to tweet certain things. I get paid to come on this podcast and talk about certain things. I get paid to go on the Breakfast Club and talk about certain things. Some things are better in long-form conversation. Some things can't be said in 140 characters. It's too easy to be misconstrued. And even though I sent out 6-7 tweets that if you read in its totality, you totally get it, they take that one, and that's the one they run with. And it's like, interpretation is a motherfucker. And that's the era we live in. We live in an era where people don't give a fuck about the actual story. They don't give a fuck about what really happened. They just give a fuck about the interpretation of what happened. Like, everybody runs with their interpretation of something.
Their
interpretation. But that's dangerous, because then you got a bunch of different people reading their interpretation. And now, like, literally a dude called the radio station this morning and goes, yeah, Charlamagne, you know what I'm saying? I heard about you saying young people don't use their voices, and we ain't got no platform. I'm like, that's not what I said. This chain letter has gone. This chain letter has gotten written so many different times. I said nothing of the sort. But just for me to be absolutely 100% clear on what I was saying, and I totally understand every woman of color who got upset with me this week if I didn't miscommunicate it the right way. All I'm simply saying is Tomi Lahren is going to be a young, conservative voice of the right for at least 4 years, probably longer. We need young, liberal voices on the left, and I feel like they should be women of color to combat that, period.
I think
in this era where everybody's talking about fake news and you know, shit ain't real, we need people that have controlling our own narratives and putting actual facts and stats out there. I'm not saying we need a radical person out there that's pissing white people off and having white people like, fuck her. No, we just need our own online news networks with online news pundits.
Right.
And I think they should be women of color. Period.
I'm with you completely. I think that you articulated that perfectly.
Not in that tweet.
I think so. I mean, I got exactly what that was. I think if you're looking for something different, you'll find it. Like what I always say, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, you know, if you believe, you can see. It's not if you see, you can believe. And I think that people wanted to see something. I think a lot of times people are taking advantage of you in this situation. But
oh yeah, you definitely had some people who just took their shot.
Oh, they were taking their shot. Oh, they saw you nice and weak, and they were like, "Oh, I'm a power on."
It wasn't that I was weak. It was, I don't know if it was you or Tax that said it last week. It was like, they would never come at me by themselves.
Oh, absolutely. It's me.
Strength in numbers.
Of course. It's strength in numbers. It's easy. Yeah, you're part of the crowd now.
There you go.
Exactly. And I think they thought you were weak. I think they saw everybody piling on, and it's easy. It's like when someone's getting jumped and that one dude on the side just kicks him for no reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, you're not involved in this fight, but it's like everybody's kicking. I might as well kick.
Do you realize? And it's so funny. I was at an advertising agency the next day because I was in Boston.
Yeah.
Prime America, I think it's called. And all the advertisers like, you're the #1 trending topic on Facebook.
Yeah, we get it. You're #1. Okay, we get
it.
Okay, how many times are you going to mention you're #1 on this fucking podcast?
I want to say this because this is a good point.
Go.
They didn't know why I was #1.
They just knew that you were #1.
They didn't give a fuck. Okay. All they saw was Charlamagne the God was #1 on Facebook. And you know, I was like, yes, I am.
There you're damn right.
I didn't tell them either because it's none of their business. Okay? If they want to get involved in this Black Twitter shit, come on. But if not, yeah, I'm #1.
I just think you got nothing to apologize for. And I think before we start like stripping people's black cards, or we start stripping people's cards for like what they do as a human or what they do for the culture, I think that you should look at the resume. And I think that you've probably put more black people on, more black women on than most of the people that tweeted you. Yeah. Name somebody that tweeted you that has put more people in position than you. No. This is very important. This is very important because I think that we should be measured on everything that we've done, not just that thing in the moment. So if you're going to strip somebody's, I guess, interest or value in terms of what they do for their people and their culture, I think that you need to at least do the due diligence, at least do the research to see what they're capable of. Like right now, Jim Brown, Jim Brown went to go to meet with Donald Trump as well.
Absolutely.
And Jim Brown said, listen, I thought that we had a great conversation and I admired him. And right now, there are people that have no clue of Jim Brown's legacy, the work that he's done in the black community and in at-risk communities all across America that are criticizing Jim Brown for saying that. It's like, bite your fucking tongue.
Said on the radio,
do the research about Jim Brown first. Yeah.
Jim Brown is one of the greatest social justice warriors we've ever seen.
History.
Right?
Yeah.
So I still got faith in him. Whatever he was talking about with Donald Trump,
he knows something you don't know.
There you go. I'm sure it benefits African Americans and Americans in some way, shape, or form.
And if it doesn't, you know who will hold Trump accountable. Jim Brown be the first motherfucker there. Like, yeah, what's up?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I wasn't upset about that at all. So the moral of the story is, and I you say I don't have to apologize, but I do feel like I did apologize to when Jamila was on the show and Amber was on the show. I did apologize to the women that I offended by accident.
But do you have to apologize to people for misinterpreting you?
You got to apologize so they listen. You got to apologize so they
for them misinterpreting you in a way that they want to misinterpret.
You have to apologize.
They're trying to misinterpret you. They're trying to find what's bad about your statement.
Yeah.
That's on them.
I mean, you do have some people who purposely want to misunderstand. You have people who want to understand. Like Jamila wanted to understand where I was coming from. Amber wanted to understand where I was coming from. Like, of course, Jazz Fly knew where I was coming from. Amanda Steele's like certain people want to know where I was coming from. I had people pull me over in the street like, what exactly did you mean by that?
Was it that hard to see? I think you're blinded. I think at that point you're blinded by your own ideology. You're blinded by your own thinking.
It's like what you saw shows.
When you become that blind, and it's a problem. I think that blindness is the problem.
You might have read the interpretation.
So if you're reading your interpretation,
you might have read somebody's interpretation. You might have read Ebony Magazine. The problematic,
my issue is Ebony. Once we enter the game of telephone, and then what you said changes shape, then you can't be held accountable for those words. But you're held accountable for your words. And if somebody reads those words, which I've read, right, and they change the definition of those words, and they change the meaning of those words, and they change what you wanted those words to convey to fit their narrative of you, right? That's on them. You don't have to apologize for their manipulation.
I agree.
You see what I'm saying?
I agree with that, but I'm aware of the fact that they may have got the wrong interpretation.
Like, does Christianity have to apologize for the KKK's version of Christianity?
No. I mean, I don't understand what the fuck that means.
My point is Christianity.
That was a huge show.
No, my point is
that was one of your greatest comparisons ever. I don't know what the
Chris is sweating bullets right now. Fucking relax. Look, my point is Christianity starts right here, right? It has the Bible, right? And we have Old and New Testament, and these are the belief systems. Now the KKK feel like they're devout Christians, right? That is the influence in what they do. And they will cite certain parts of the Bible to somewhat support their weird and awful bigoted views. My point is, if it starts right here, we have this general understanding of what God wants, and we have this general understanding of what Jesus wants, right? And it was manipulated to fit this narrative of the KKK, right? And that's what's happening. If people are manipulating what you're saying to make it hateful, manipulating what you're saying to make it discrediting of black women, do you have to apologize because they're manipulating your words?
Yes.
Yes,
that's some pussy ass shit.
I'm not. I don't even know if I'm apologizing for their interpretation.
It's not a good example.
I'm apologizing for my tweet.
Yeah,
that may have offended people by accident. Now
we gotta apologize for offending people by accident. Now,
hey man, it happens.
Fuck that shit. I refuse.
Yesterday, I'm talking to a young lady.
Give
from
yourself
Philly.
Don't Get a Day again for apologizing for their fucking insecurity.
Listen, yesterday I'm talking to a young lady from Philly, right? And she stole a piece of gum from Envy. Last piece of gum. She thought nobody saw her take it. Envy saw her take it.
Yeah.
So I go, you dirty little bitch. But I meant to say, I said you dirty Philly bitch. Yeah. But I meant to say you dirty Philly John. But it came out bitch.
Yeah.
And she was like,
because you hate black women.
She was. I never said she was white.
But I knew because she stole it.
Shut the fuck up. So listen. So I said to her, I go. She goes, I don't like you calling me out my name. I said, you know what? You're right. I meant to call you a dirty Philly John. Okay.
Was she okay with that?
Yeah, she was. So I had to take the L.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
But that's not misinterpretation. That's you actually saying bitch.
I did. That was.
That's the exact opposite.
I didn't mean it in a bad way.
Let's bring in our guest. I don't think we're talking in circles.
Bring in our guest. All right, today's episode of Brilliant Idiots is brought to you by Stan Socks. There's a Stan sock for every personality, something colorful and loud for the bombastic, something subtle and reserved for the... First of all, who the fuck still says bombastic? I don't even know what this word is.
With the SAT words, okay.
What is reserved for the reticent? What does reticent mean?
Is this you or Res?
Jesus Christ.
Oh, this is theirs?
I fuck with Stan Socks.
They're writing it in our language.
This is the moral of the story. Stan Socks is a really dope sock, all right? They turned one of the world's most boring accessories, socks, into its most exciting by turning them into a canvas for self-expression. Stance has redefined what socks should feel like in the role they play in personal style, and these socks do more than just look great. There's a sock for every occasion. Casual socks with fantastic designs, dress socks to add some personality to that bland suit, even performance socks for the athletes. If I do a Brilliant Idiot show.
Say what?
If I do a Brilliant Idiot show, I wear my Wu-Tang Clan Stan socks.
That's actually very true.
I do.
I saw you promote it in Boston.
I do.
You put the picture of your feet on the gram, and then you had your Stan socks because they got the Legends collection. Maybe one day they'll have a Charlemagne the God sock, because right now they got Biggie, Johnny Cash, A Tribe Called Quest, and Tupac. So go explore the newest and best-selling collections for truly amazing gifts that will make you love your socks more than ever. Shop yourself at Stance.com. Stance.com. That's Stance.com. Stance, the uncommon thread.
If I did something, I want a stocking.
You want a stocking?
Just for black women.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Is this part of the apology?
With my new collection. Now, we got some guests in the building. My partners, y'all might know them as the motherfucking Lean Squad. Introduce yourselves individually, man.
Hey, guys. It's Lena Cuisine here.
Retro. I'm Retro Spectro.
Your boy B9, a.k.a. You Funny B.
Okay, so where you guys from, man?
I'm originally from New York, but I migrated over to Maryland. I'm from Harlem.
I was born and raised PG, Maryland. Been there my whole life. Stayed in Jamaica for a little bit.
Make sure you're close to the mic, man.
Put your lips on the mic, man. This is what the industry is all about. Put your lips on the mic.
I gotta make love to the mic.
Make it or not.
Make love to the
mic. Yeah, I'm born and raised in D.C. I did a lot of traveling.
Now, if you don't know who these guys are, they do sketch comedy. Y'all would call it sketch,
I would call it sketch comedy.
Yeah.
They do sketch comedy online and on the internet. They've got a really good following. I think they're funny as hell. I used to use them on Uncommon Sense. Now they're transitioning into actual TV. You was on ATL, Atlanta.
Yeah.
That shit was funny as hell. He played a transracial on Atlanta.
Okay.
Transracial. I went from a black guy to a white guy.
You went white. Why'd you go white?
Well, because of that's what I felt like I wanted to be.
Yeah.
That's what I felt like I wanted to be. So I just went to my character.
Would that be your go-to if you couldn't be black?
Of course. I mean, that'd be
So it would be that definitely you go white if you couldn't go, but not Asian. What about Asian?
Nah, I mean, I don't really get no respect. I mean, outside the class.
No, this is good. Let the shots be fired. Let the throwing stars be thrown. Let's go.
Asians get a lot of respect. Asians smart as fuck.
Yeah, when you want a doctor, who do you go to?
They get a lot of respect, like in the industry and like
education,
in the real world.
They don't got the big dick, bro. Just keep it real. Keep it real. You want the big dick.
I mean, like to the normal people.
Who's normal? What does normal mean?
Somebody on the school bus.
So Asians got to sit in the front. Is that what you're trying to say?
They can say whatever they want on the school bus, but you know how black schools work.
How did you get the role on Atlanta?
Well, they had emailed me, and then I didn't believe it. I didn't know if it was real or not, and then that's when my manager talked to them on the phone and everything, and then that's when he was like, "Oh yeah, it's legit. They really want you to play the role."
So they just saw you online or something?
Yeah,
because you have a character that you play, the white dude, right? Online.
Yeah, well, I played a white guy online before, and they didn't like that either. But yeah, I played once they hit him, and then that's when they confirmed everything. I guess they seen my videos before, and then he was interested in me. He felt like I was a good person, and then he hit me up for that role.
Who is he?
Donald Glover. His people hit me.
Okay.
Up. And then
did you work with Donald?
Yeah. When I
you didn't see the episode? Hilarious.
No, I didn't see it.
Yeah, when I got
hilarious. So Lena Cuisine, was y'all upset when he got the role?
Nah.
I was proud.
How y'all feel? How'd y'all feel?
I was like, things are looking up for us. Because when we first started this off, we didn't we was just doing it for fun. Like it was just a hobby.
Yeah.
And then people started noticing this. We're like, well, shit, nigga, we can do something with this.
Yeah. I was proud. That's dope. I
felt like a proud older brother.
Got you.
Now
we grew up in the same neighborhood.
How old are you guys?
I'm 22.
You're 22? You're
23.
23, and then you?
I'm 18.
You're 18?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Y'all still think eating pussy is nasty.
Oh,
what?
Oh, y'all eating that shit?
You're 23. You better start eating pussy, bro. Come on.
Oh no, I most definitely eat the pussy, man.
Why are you embarrassed to say that?
You eating pussy yet?
Everybody grown.
Oh, I'm just making sure. There's a time when young
this guy's got a full beard. He's eating pussy.
Them youngins like that. Like, I don't eat no pussy.
But that's not even true though. You can't even say that's true.
What?
What do you mean?
Eating pussy give you like a beard?
It does.
No, I do.
I ain't got no facial hair.
Say what?
You ain't eating
You're eating pussy. You're eating butt.
What you mean?
You gotta stop eating that butt, bro. That shit takes away the beard.
If you don't make a girl orgasm when you eat her pussy, the hairs don't grow on your face. You got to make her orgasm.
Yeah.
So
Who's to say that?
Your head game trash, bro. You ain't got no beard.
I'm not gonna say
use your
try
tongue.
flex.
You can't just put your lips there and go. Brrr. That's not how it works.
It's trash, bro.
Chill.
So when did y'all start making money recently or what? Like how? Because everybody builds these platforms. You know, we've been talking about platforms a lot the past couple of weeks. Everybody builds these platforms and they create this good content. But are y'all making money off it? Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's all in marketing yourself.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't market their brand or something like that. Like they build a platform and then just let the followers be the followers. Mm-hmm. But I mean, we just market ourselves.
How do you market yourselves?
I mean, honestly, money comes from everywhere. Like promotions, YouTube videos.
Yeah, it started
clothing,
from YouTube.
Companies like
clothing.
like they pay y'all the way they shouldn't.
Pretty much. Well, not. That's not the only source, but that's one of them. But like people pay to promote their song, wear their clothes, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's multiple ways you can get paid.
You got like company based, like, you know, type of promotion and stuff. We work with different brands and all of that.
And then we all do our we all do sketch comedy, but we all have our own talents. Like B&R dances, Nas plays drums. My talent is kind of a geek, so I play video games, but that makes money as well.
Oh, you one of those gamers that be getting paid online? Yeah, you got coins and what they call them? Coin bits? Bitcoins?
No.
I'm old, man. What do they call them? Bitcoins?
What do you do? Twitch?
Yeah. That's
so Twitch is. Explain what Twitch is.
Twitch. Learn about this. They literally people watch you play games. Pretty much
watch you play video games.
But you gotta be entertaining while you do it. Like commentate, basically just call out every little thing that happens.
So you like the Mr. Marcus of video gamers?
Pretty much.
Do you know who Mr. Marcus is?
No.
Oh no! Come on, just keep it 100, yeah.
Mr. Marcus. Mr. Marcus is one of the greatest gay porn stars. Mr. Marcus is one of the greatest gay porn stars.
He said pretty much.
Everybody tweet Leaning Cuisine and tell him that he.
I ain't been able to set me up like that, bro.
Nah, you set yourself up for that one.
Man, he wears a hat and he keeps his Timbs on the whole time.
He takes a big dick, bro. He takes
come on,
real dude.
Whoa, why you had to do me like
that? The Louisville Slugger. That's what they call it.
Whoa. What's the most you made doing video games?
You know what? Drop.
What's the most you made?
Most I made.
Counting pockets over here, Charlamagne.
Honestly, in one day, but this is because I played all day. I made 2,000 one day. But that's because I was just in the house just playing.
Which video game were you playing?
Grand Theft Auto online.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Y'all did a funny ass sketch based off Grand Theft Auto.
I think I know which one you're talking about. The one the tutorial one.
We done multiple videos. Yeah, we did multiple GTA videos.
GTA is just a funny game.
So that shit is just inspiration for y'all then?
Everything is inspiration.
Everything
is inspiration.
Do y'all write this stuff down when you?
Yeah.
It'd be on the fly. Like that was funny. That could be a skit, right?
Yeah.
Like it'd just be on the fly.
Just random stuff.
Somebody's be like, put that in your notes real quick.
How did you guys meet? If you're 5 years, you guys are 5 years older than him.
We and him went to the same elementary school,
but 5 years apart.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's
not times you got left back, Casey.
Yeah,
come on, man. Shoot, you know, I learned when I learned, man.
Hey, look. Hey, look.
But we lived in the same neighborhood, but I moved away, and when I moved back around the same area, and ended up meeting him in college, which was funny enough because it's a small world. He actually knew him, and I ended up meeting him again.
I actually knew his brother.
We both moved away, and he reintroduced. It's like pretty much.
Yeah, it was real weird. It was just weird.
And when he brought him back around, we was just like, "That's Casey, that's Lean."
What the heck? How y'all know each other?
Like, he famous now.
Okay, so you start making these.
Oh, so Lean was first.
He was first. He was like,
I know Lean. I know Lean and Cuisine. I thought that was the name of the whole crew at one point.
Yeah, nah. He was like popping. He was like popping first. Oh, for like cinema.
Come on, bro. You gotta let them know. That was before Vine. That was before Vine.
That was before Vine. That was
like an app where it was no sound. It was no sound or anything. It was like a
6-second clips.
Vine basically came and just like took it off. Just took it was it was
social media game.
Okay, so Lean was first.
Yeah. And then once he brought him back around,
I met B-Nard at school. It was funny because we met through dancing, and he just completely destroyed me. And I was like,
"You guys had a battle?"
I mean, not really a battle.
He was standing on the side. I was dancing, and then he was like, "Yo, you dope, man. Come on, keep it 100. I'm just saying, just keep it 100." Oh no! They just got a whole bunch of gay jokes in this joke.
You got served shit?
Yo, you like, dope, man.
Yeah, your moves are dope, B.
Yeah, yo, you tight.
The way you move, bro. That's
beautiful. You kind of dance like the Chris Brown pop lock and shit.
I mean, like I do like
he doing that too?
Nah, I don't know what you on. I'm talking about, I do like hip hop. Like my foundation is like hip hop dancing, just like a whole bunch of stuff. Swag dancing, hitting them folks, all that stuff. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So he's like, yo.
Nah, but I was actually, how we
got discovered too.
I heard.
No, for real. Whenever
I
somebody
heard.
clowned you about being a dancer, just be like, Tupac was a dancer.
Yeah, I hear you, but you know what I'm saying. He went like down a different path.
Are you serious? Tupac was a
dancer. He was a dancer.
Backup dancer
For Digital Underground.
Yeah, for Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah,
Digital Underground. None of them had any social media, but they were Digital Underground.
Oh no.
Yeah.
The more you know.
Totally different. You know.
Yeah, that's when actually we really met. I met him that time when we was dancing. Then there was another time I actually met him because I was into like photography and videography and stuff. So he was like, he needed a cameraman, and I was gonna I was shooting his videos. I shot a video for him like once, but it was like a vlog, and I was like talking behind the camera and everything, and like people found the video funny. Like it was just a day of us going to the gas station, like just hanging out and just going to my crib. Then I just edited, put it together, and then like people found it funny. Like he posted on his YouTube channel, and they found it funny.
So I think one of the things I admired, I looked at like some compilations of your stuff, but one of the things I admired is that you guys are actually doing it. A lot of people are looking for opportunities. They're looking for kind of handouts, right? They're like, hey, when are you going to put me on? When are you going to, everybody wants to be put on, but no one wants to put themselves on. And it seemed to me that like, even before you guys were, monetizing this at all, that you were just making these videos yourselves. Did you know that this would lead to something, or this was just something fun?
Nah, we was looking for fun. Like we wasn't looking for money.
Yeah.
We wasn't looking for fame. We wasn't looking for anything. We was just friends chilling.
We was all goofy, so it was like, why not put this on camera so people can watch this?
Yeah. I mean, it inspired that. Like, were you watching shows that, like, was it Key and Peele? Was
that's our personalities.
Personally, I was.
You want to put it on the internet,
Well, yeah, go ahead. Nah, well, I was just gonna say, just with me, it was just one of those things. Just growing up, like I always wanted a camera, and it was just like when I got a camera, like I want to make videos. I'm pretty sure it was. Was it the same with you?
Nah, personally, like I was always a weird kid. Like I was a weird ass.
Why you call yourself weird?
I was the anime watching kid, the one that played video games. They talked. I was a class clown too. Like I was always acting out, and people was like,
it's funny because guys like you will say you're weird, but then you'll say the drug dealers are normal. Like drug, like the street dudes in the hood is normal, but the guy that's actually doing the right thing and playing video games is weird. No, you normal, bro.
That's normal. Shoot.
You just you.
You.
I mean, it was different cliques. You got your jocks, you got your anime geeks, you got your band geeks. I was
everybody getting their fair share of pussy?
Well, that's true.
That's all that matters.
Especially band geeks, which was shocking enough.
Band geeks get the most pussy?
Yes, you'd be surprised.
You was in band too?
Yeah, I was in band.
What'd you play?
Trombone.
Okay.
They do, but they look. You can I break it down.
Player.
Yeah, please explain how they get the most
pussy. They get it from each other. So it's like when you're in a band, it's like a coat. I was in a band, right? It's like a coat.
What'd you play?
Drums. I've been a drummer since 4. So it's just like when you're in a band, y'all go on all the road trips together. Y'all go everywhere together. Y'all practicing together, hours together. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? Everywhere.
There's a bunch of
because there's women in the band too.
Yeah,
there's bitches in the band.
Is that women play instruments and shit like that?
Of course.
A bunch of horny ass teenagers just packed.
What progressive school were you guys going to?
What do you mean? Women can't play instruments?
I don't think I've seen any attractive girls.
Oh no, you taking it too far.
Y'all watch too many movies.
What you mean? No, we mean
no,
movies.
it be some bad chicks.
Nah, because you was in high school. You was in
it be the flute players. those be the baddest ones. It be the flute players.
Let me tell you something. They're all flute players. Okay.
Why the flute playing so bad?
I don't know what it is about that instrument. Man. All the girls just wanted to play flute. Why would you choose that
instrument? Why would you choose the dick instrument?
Come on, bro.
You might have fire head. That don't mean you bad though.
That is bad. When you're 20 years old, a girl who gives good head is hot.
I don't know about that, but.
What the fuck were y'all doing at 20 in high school?
I wasn't 20 in high school. I ain't even 20 yet.
You was 20 in high school, Lean?
Nah.
No.
Well, you better make it in this sketch comedy shit.
So you're telling me the band? Oh, because of proximity. You're just around the women. They're more comfortable with you, and then they start to open.
It's like black on black crime. It's just band on band fucking.
It's just you sitting next to a girl for a 5-hour ride. You know what I'm saying? Out to somewhere for a festival.
Yeah.
Like.
Something bound to happen.
Really?
Yeah, there was this, what was it called? Band camp. It's a real thing.
Yeah.
Where we go off to, I don't know, wherever, and we just practice instruments. And then they give us a bunch of free time to do whatever the hell we want. And we're a bunch of horny teenagers. What the hell you think we're going to do?
One time at band camp? What movie was that? American Pie, right?
American Pie. That's one time at band camp.
There's one time at band camp?
So that's real. It really goes down.
Yeah, that really happens.
Wow.
So you lost your virginity at band camp?
No, I was a loser. But when we got back, this girl ended up confessing to me. And I was like, well, shit. I ain't about to be the only virgin in this motherfucker. And I got my cheeks.
So y'all lost y'all virginity together?
I don't know about her, but...
Oh, okay. That's dope. She white or black?
Black.
Okay. I busted my first nut with a white girl.
How was that?
It's great. It was amazing.
I've never done a white girl.
Really? Hey, man, stick to that. It'll take you a long way. Black Twitter can never turn on you if you never... Black women on Twitter can never turn on you if you stick to that gun right there, brother.
I've never done a white girl. I've only dated black girls.
Have you slept with any other races?
Hispanic.
That's what Charlamagne likes.
No.
Dominicans, specifically Dominican.
Black women.
Yeah, all right.
I like them black. I like them black as a blank screen.
The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
I like them dark skin.
Same thing.
Dark skin, like a bad dark skin girl.
Brown skinned dick.
Yeah.
You know, like a bad dark skin.
Like a big ass Swiss roll.
This is how we gonna sell y'all right here. That's things you don't hear all the time. Why haven't y'all done a sketch in the dark skinned women yet? Then
that's it right there. Our R&B track for dark skinned women. That's our new sketch.
So next is TV for you guys.
Yeah.
And I love the fact, like Andrew was saying, y'all created
TV.
TV's dead. Internet.
I don't really think.
Do both.
Yeah, we can do both.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We can do both.
TV's dead. Get the bread if they want to give you the bread, but never lose the internet. The internet is the future. Don't hustle backwards. You guys have the fan base. Literally take that fan base to another place on the internet. It's very difficult to take people who are internet followers to television, right? But when you take internet followers to another part of the internet, they'll go. They're already looking at the computer. Yeah. You telling me you're not going to go from YouTube to Amazon or YouTube to Netflix? Or
Netflix. Netflix is popping.
Let's go.
Netflix is popping.
There's a bunch of these things.
Netflix is going to do a Prince reality show.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know about that.
He's dead. How you going to do a reality show?
That's what I'm saying. They were going to do a Prince reality show.
Before he died?
They were going to do a Prince reality show.
That's cool.
Shit like that lets me know that motherfuckers over there are thinking.
Oh, yeah. Did they film any of it? That could be a dope.
I don't even know if they got to filming it. I don't even think they got to film it.
He said no to it?
Yeah, he didn't agree with he's really difficult.
Yeah. You know what you guys should talk to? LOL. Kevin Hart's company. Kevin Hart's starting basically a Netflix for I guess you could do comedy. Or no, it's like imagine Tidal for music is Netflix.
These guys are gonna be okay.
I'm not worried about them being okay or not. What I'm trying to say is you want to, at least for me, the way I'm looking at the way things are trending, right? Yeah. I think internet is the way to go, and I think that we get seduced by TV. Yeah. You know, it's like when you're young and you watched, I don't know, what TV shows did you watch when you were a kid? What sitcoms?
Martin.
So Martin, I don't know. I don't know if you ever had a crush on Gina, but
no.
Pam.
All right, so Pam, so you have a crush on Pam. It's like if you see Pam now, you'd be like, man, I want to fuck Pam because I wanted to fuck her so much when I was young. But Pam's old. You see what I'm saying?
Still got a fat ass, bro.
But you're thinking about young Pam, but Pam is 50 right now. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's what TV is. We're seduced by it, but reality is TV is YouTube. TV is Netflix.
TV's still a bad bitch, though.
Yeah. Because we think it is, but it ain't.
It is. It's still a bad bitch.
I feel like people are still on there. I mean, I feel like we learn from people's mistakes and stuff. I mean, we seen people who did what we did and then got the TV and stopped posting somewhere else or
Spoken Reasons,
or you know what I'm saying.
Y'all remember him?
Yeah,
that's my guy.
Yeah, he was real.
I watched his videos.
He made a couple of good joints that.
Yeah,
crazy.
And then he did one movie and he just kind of stopped. I gotta talk to Spoke. I gotta hit Spoke up.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that that don't continue it, but I mean.
It's like
I just feel like we learn from that. Why not do both? I mean, we could do both.
Yeah, I feel like we can do both. We can do both.
You can't stop catering to your fans once you
especially
get
when we started. That's where we started. So
you know who does a good job of that? Batch.
Yeah.
Batch will do film, he'll do television, and then he'll keep doing these stupid fucking Instagram videos or Vine videos where he's like,
he keep it moving. He makes sure.
He feeding his.
And I'll be honest, they're not even funny. It's just they're in the room, and then something happens, and then a song that we all know kicks on, and I'm supposed to laugh when the song kicks on.
That's why I didn't like Vine, because it seemed like everybody was doing
same
that
shtick.
with the song playing the end, and then everybody started dancing randomly. It was like, okay,
where you going, baby? Hides condom, dun 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 dun, dun song, and I laugh. Whatever.
Yeah.
Point is, but he keeps feeding those people.
Yeah, and that's what they like to see.
If it worked, it worked.
And they like to see him grow. Because like now, if you watch King Bad videos, he's always in the video with somebody's.
With famous motherfuckers, yeah.
He's always in the video with some celebrity.
Odell Beckham Jr. was in the video with him.
That's one thing they do like to see. They like to see you grow. I think that's dope, though.
Just like you guys have leverage, man. Like having actual fans. I'm telling you, because I go into these meetings and shit like that. Having actual fans and having the ability to monetize your fans without networks and that kind of stuff gives you so much leverage going into it. You know, like when we started doing TV, it was pretty much before social media was popping, and you're at, on some level, the mercy of these networks, right?
Well, we came up the same. Well, me and Duval came up the same way though. Me and Duval used to do the Hood State of the Union videos.
Right.
We started filming those ourselves.
But you weren't making money off of it.
Nah, but we was putting them online and we was getting those crazy views. But that's how we started getting those calls from the TV network.
Sure.
That's why it pisses me off when I hear motherfuckers still waiting around for somebody to give them a goddamn handout or for somebody to put them on. Put your fucking self on.
It can happen.
You gotta put work in. I mean, like people, especially with like social media, because everything blow up so easily now. So like people just, people see things and they be like, oh yeah, it's easy to do this, it's easy to do that. We've been doing this for years now.
It's almost better to do it while you live at home.
Yeah.
Because you don't have a job. You could literally just make videos all day.
How you assume they live at home?
When they were in fucking high school making videos together, I thought you lived at home, right?
Y'all still live at home?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's just like it's a like a shared thing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody grown now, so it's
ain't no shared thing, motherfucker. That's your parents' house.
Nah.
You pay the bills?
Yeah, I pay bills.
Oh, so they're your roommates?
Yeah, it's not. It's
the internet bill don't count, man. What bill you pay?
It's not an internet bill. Like bills.
You paid all the bills?
Like bills.
Okay.
Bills.
He's a grown up, man.
He's a grown up.
I'm a grown up.
He good.
Good. You should take care of your parents.
I pay my own car note, my own stuff.
What kind of car you got?
Okay, good.
I got come on, man. I was about to say that. I got a Bugatti. Never wrong.
All right, well, give them all your Twitters and Instagrams and all that good stuff. Where can they find the Lean Squad?
You can find all of us at Lean Squad on Twitter, but individually, Little Cuisine.
You can find me, B-Nard, you funny B. Y-O-U, funny B. Just to let it be.
You can find me, Retro Spectro, anywhere.
What's your favorite sites?
What you mean, site?
I mean, I know y'all. I see y'all on Twitter a lot.
Porn. What's your favorite porn?
I knew you was about to say that. I just had to keep it real.
If we being real, man. If we gonna be real, X videos.
Okay.
X Hamster.
What specifically are you watching? Anime shit? Keep it real.
Oh, come on, man. Come on.
Come on.
I know I'm a nerd, but damn, like I got some dignity.
You never watched a Super Saiyan?
Super Saiyan.
You might be on your own with
that. That is complete disrespect to my favorite show, Dragon Ball Z. Come on, man.
Nah, I be on Twitter like every day.
And y'all when y'all do videos, y'all just do them for YouTube and then post them on Twitter?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Sometimes I gotta take a break from Twitter though, because it's a very depressing place.
Mm-hmm.
It's like every time I get on, I see something else terrible going on.
I had to learn to stop responding to hate. It's like really trolls like that. Really,
they used to hate on you.
Not even that.
Nah, they still do, but it's like literally once you respond to them, they literally say, I got you to respond.
Yeah.
And once I kept seeing it, I was like, all right, I'm not responding.
Some people just say stuff just to get you to respond to them.
It's so corny.
Yo, you know what?
Corny.
Have you ever had those people that hate on you and then you respond and they go, yo, just kidding, bro, big fan.
That's why I stopped responding to people.
I hate the
people
ones that
don't
try
have
to
the
roast on you.
confidence to celebrate you. it's much easier to shit on somebody than it is to say, hey, I really like your work.
Yeah, because I respond to positivity too.
Yeah, for sure. Reward positivity, man.
Right.
Well, I really like you guys' work, man.
Appreciate
y'all and had y'all on Common Sense, and we'll be doing other things in the future.
Good, man. Yeah. Good shit.
So I hope y'all get some pussy from being on this podcast. How long y'all gonna be in New York?
Hey, holla at me.
Today.
Just today?
Yeah.
Oh, y'all in and out?
Yeah.
Y'all got here? Y'all flew?
Nah, we drove.
Yeah.
25 hours?
Nah, it's like 3 hours.
3 hours.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
From DC?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, y'all on y'all grind.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's the Lean Squad, ladies and gentlemen. Go follow them on all social media and get them some pussy before they blow up, okay?
Holla at me. I'm going to be in Manhattan all day, you know.
All right, today's episode of Brilliant Idiots is brought to you by Bevel.
Yeah.
Don't you hate waking up to find out that yesterday's shave has created today's budding razor bumps? You don't have to experience that anymore when you start using the Bevel shaving system. It's the first and only shaving system designed for coarse, curly hair and sensitive skin. Using a multi-blade razor can leave your skin with awful discoloration, irritation, and razor bumps. Bevel is dermatologist approved and proven to reduce and prevent razor bumps, discoloration, and irritation. 9 out of 10 customers come back month to month to make sure they keep getting that Bevel blessing.
That's right. Bevel is designed from the ground up to give you a smooth, bump-free shave. How? The Bevel razor uses a single blade, which cuts hair above the skin, not beneath, so you can avoid those painful ingrown hairs. When you order your Bevel end-to-end shaving system, look forward to receiving a pre-shave oil, badger brush, safety razors, blade shaving cream, and a cooling, restoring balm. I bet you can almost feel the healing. Let's just listen to this ad. Too bad almost doesn't count. So, get a Bevel. Just for Brilliant Idiots listeners, Bevel is letting you enjoy the first month of your subscription for free. Hey, Christmas is around the corner. Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, all that stuff. Bevel, amazing present. You know, you've been with somebody a while. They probably have everything they already need. Bevel is something that basically
it's got a nice box.
Know that you're thinking about it. I mean, I guess it does have a nice box.
You put some wrap around that motherfucker, you good.
And also, fellas, if you want your lady to have a nice box, you know, give her a Bevel, okay?
Absolutely.
Shave that shit nice. We know that, you know, sometimes ladies, you get those little razor bumps and it could look like a herpy or two. And I think the best thing that you should do is make sure you shave and it doesn't pull the hair out from underneath.
There you go.
Okay? Shave it on top. You have a nice little, like, what is it? Not a 5 o'clock shadow, but a nice little, you want a little scruff on a vagina. I like a little scruff there. I like to feel like there was hair there.
Okay, well, getbevel.com.
Yeah. Make sure you go to getbevel.com/idiots and sign up today to enjoy that free month. That's GETBEVEL.com/idiots.
Now, listen, before Lean and Cuisine and Lean Squad came in, who the hell called me from No Call ID? Let me see what this is. This should be good.
Put it on speaker, though. Put it on speaker.
Hello?
Sorry, I didn't ask.
I don't know who that was. But anyway, before Lean and Cuisine came in, we was talking about, you know, why it's cool to apologize to somebody if you feel like you offended them. And I said it earlier, but it's like that's how you get them to listen. Because
elaborate on that.
I'm elaborating because if I say something that offended you,
someone will shut down.
Yes, because they automatically feel like what you did was malicious. They feel like you did it on purpose.
Right.
They feel like you had ill intentions.
Yep.
As soon as you apologize and tell them that's not what I meant, then they'll listen to what you actually meant.
Right.
If you're just holding on to the fact that you're wrong, you just misunderstood me, I don't want to hear that shit, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Then they're not trying to hear you either.
Yeah.
So you have to just acknowledge, look, I didn't mean to offend y'all. Apologize to anybody I offended. Now let's have the real conversation.
Right. So you do it as a means to continue the communication.
Absolutely.
I just feel personally I don't like apologizing for shit that I don't feel bad about, because especially I don't like apologizing for something that you misinterpreted, because one, it's not what I'm trying to say, or I felt that I did say. So I don't want to empower your fake outrage or your outrage that's based on your bullshit narrative, because then what we're doing is just empowering people being upset. And I feel like it's already going too far right now, where people literally are upset about absolutely nothing.
But you have to remember one thing.
Like what? I'm sorry to interrupt, but in my personal opinion, and maybe it's because I know you better than most of these people on Twitter, well, probably that's what it is, I knew exactly what you were trying to say by that. I felt like it was articulated well. I thought enough information was put out there that if somebody misinterpreted it, it's because they wanted to find this to be insulting to women. And I feel like too often right now, what social justice warriors and these kind of fake activists do is because their power is outrage, they go out every day looking for sexism, looking for how people are offending women, looking for it. It's like they're a gold. They're like it's like a gold miner.
And not only that,
for
plus,
sexism.
Plus, on social media, people know how women of color get down. We've been talking about it on this podcast for years. You and them Crystals and them Jamila Lemieux and friends come at you 100 miles per hour. Boy, you better duck. So soon as they saw me say that, they were almost on some like, oh,
here we go.
Oh, y'all gonna let him say that? Oh, like gassing it up.
Yeah.
So my thing is always this. I study the 4 agreements. One of the 4 agreements is never take offense. Because when you take offense, that which offended you only creates the same. When you take offense, it creates the same negative energy that offended you in the first place. Right?
Yeah.
So if I get on social media and I say something, all of these people come attack me. If I get offended, my ego kicks in and be like, yo, y'all just dumb. Y'all just dumb. Y'all don't y'all can't understand what I was saying, you stupid motherfuckers. So that way the cycle of just bullshit keeps going. As soon as I take a step back and be like, all right, I see exactly what all of these people are saying.
Yeah.
And then I talk to people that I'm really close to. Like I talk to Jazz Fly. I talk to Amanda Seales. Like, okay, what was I wrong here? Like, I understood what you meant.
Right.
But you worded it wrong.
Yeah.
Like, all right, cool. I respect y'all opinion enough to say, all right, my bad. I may have worded this wrong, but this is what it is. And what it is we need an online news network.
What was worded wrong? How could you have worded it differently?
I could have said news pundits. I should have said online news network in the initial tweet. Instead of saying create a platform, I should have been specific and said we need to create an online news network. That way, and they probably could have got it.
So,
and then I wouldn't have had to say the like Tommy thing.
Why not? Why can't you give the exact example?
I'm with you.
See, I think it's nitpicking.
I think Tommy's a great example.
She is the perfect example.
Learn from your enemies, people.
Neo had Agent Smith, right? So if Tommy is Agent Smith, we're looking for Neo.
Learn from your enemies.
Of course.
That's why even Bomani pissed me off because I'm like, Bomani knew what I was talking about.
Of course
he even said in one tweet, Bomani was like, maybe I misunderstood him. And then he said to me, so you're talking about infrastructure. You know I'm talking about infrastructure.
Yeah, but you don't get no fucking retweets if he says he's talking about infrastructure. You get tons of retweets if he tweets out how you're an asshole and you're not talking about the platforms black women already have. He was doing it selfishly. First of all, I don't even know who the fuck this guy is. I tried to find a show.
You know who Bomani Jones is?
I don't even know. I've been watching ESPN my whole life. I've never seen him on ESPN.
He's on Highly Questionable. He's on Highly Questionable every day with Dan Le Batard. Dan Lebatard's father and the black guy with the bald head. That's Bomani Jones.
That's Bomani?
That's Bomani.
Oh, okay. I thought that was a mean.
And then it's
I thought it was a mean.
That's Bomani. And what else? Bomani comes on Around the Horn a lot.
Okay. Look,
Bomani's good. I'm not gonna I never was front on Bomani. He's good.
I never questioned his ability as a broadcaster.
Yeah.
I questioned his agenda in criticizing you, and I felt like there was maybe either jealousy in there or purposeful naivete. You're trying to get this wrong. You're trying to find controversy in something that there is not controversy there, and I think that distracts us from the real issue that last weekend, which was Walter Scott's cop killer got a fucking mistrial.
Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen though.
You might have known it's going to happen, but that's the problem. Not is Charlamagne anti-black woman. The problem is what's happening in fucking South Carolina. But of course, we're all distracted by this nonsense shit, which is all social justice warriors do, is they take these little ass fucking problems that mean absolutely nothing, like Halloween costumes and all this bullshit, and they make a big deal of that so they can ignore the actual real problems that we have going on that are going to take real work to do.
Listen, I agree.
Real work you can't tweet about.
I told Tariq Nasheed.
He got bodied, bro. That was embarrassing.
Yeah, he did. He
on
got
Fox
bodied.
News. Holy shit.
Who's that? Tucker Carlson or whatever? Oh,
put that motherfucker in a suplex.
Y'all didn't see that. Y'all didn't see that because y'all was so busy caught up in Trevor Noah, Tommy Lawrence stuff. Tariq, my guy, but
executed.
Nah, bro. Tucker owned him. Tucker owned him like a slave master. not gonna front Tyreek. I was like, come on, Tyreek, stop it. But you know what it was?
Gotta come prepared, bro.
This is the thing, and Tyreek's my guy. That initial tweet Tyreek sent out when he said it was something to the effect of, it's funny how, I don't know if he said it was funny, but he said something about the cop that killed. What was that situation where the guy stabbed a bunch of people? There was
a kid, I think it was in Ohio, right? And there was a kid who drove on a college campus, and he drove into a bunch of people with his car, got out the car, and started stabbing some people. And
Tyreek said, it's funny how he said they're making it seem like he's a hero. Interesting, talking about the cop, and I'm like,
yeah,
he was a hero.
And he put like terrorist in quotation marks.
No, he didn't do all that.
He did.
He did.
Yeah, that's what the conversation.
No, he said
about.
Somebody was a terrorist. But this guy's a hero. I forgot. I don't remember how to fucking.
Basically, he said some stupid ass shit.
It was wrong. It was totally wrong.
And then tried to defend himself being wrong. And there is a difference between what you said and Tariq said. What Tariq said was wrong. What you said was misinterpreted.
Oh no, I agree with that. But what I was saying about Tyreek is Tyreek was tweeting about the Dylan Roof trial. And he was tweeting about watch how they're setting this guy to get off. I'm like, Dylan Roof is not getting off.
Absolutely not.
It's not happening. I'm from Charleston. I got plenty of family in law enforcement. And I actually tweeted Tyreek, I said, now, Michael Sanger in the Walter Scott case will probably get off. That's the one we need to be watching.
I don't think he's going to get off. He got a mistrial this time. And we have to also look at, 11 out of the 12 jurors.
Oh, it wasn't even that. That was wrong, too. That was fake news. It was more than 11. It was like 4 or 5 who couldn't come to a conclusion.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I thought it was one juror. That's what I was reading.
That's what I thought, too. That's what they initially said. And then just like talking to a few people down there in law enforcement, they was like, nah, it was like 4 or 5.
Interesting.
I don't see how.
Honestly, I can't see how. Camille sent me a crazy video that the guy from Canada who originally released the GIF of him getting shot by the cop, or like Vine video of him getting shot by the cop. He did like some crazy research. I don't even want to put it out there because it's so wild, but he already put it out there about that same kid really analyzed the video of the shooting and found what he thought shows, and he like recreated with 3D imaging, recreated with slow-mo, Steadicam, all this shit. Like that's what this kid does in Canada. He's like he's a nerd for like video stuff. And he said it showed that I guess the Sanger originally brought out his taser, and then Scott grabbed the taser away from him and threw the taser, but the officer Sanger might not have known that he threw it. And when he was running away, then he started shooting him. Now, me personally, if somebody's running away, there's no reason that you need to shoot him. That's just how I feel. It's absolutely
for a goddamn parking ticket. It's not like he's a mass murderer,
right. Well, a bigger note, which Camille brought up, I thought was really interesting, was like this guy's afraid to get locked up because of I think it was like child. It was not paying child support because if you don't pay child support, you can actually get locked up for it.
Hell yeah!
And here's the
6
thing:
months to a year, sometimes longer.
And here's the thing: how is that productive? Like maybe let's look into that law. Like you're telling me I can't pay child support.
You about to have an old age discussion? Like goddamn, Tupac still alive?
Bro, this is worse. This is worse than drugs being illegal. Like this is absurd. I can't pay child support, so you're gonna lock me up, and that in some way is gonna help me pay child support.
I used to always think that. I don't know why, because even when I was in jail back in the day, it'd be mad people when they're locked up for child support. I used to think that when they get locked up,
it stops.
Or the time is like decreasing the money you owe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you can't pay the money, you go do the time.
Nope.
Hell no. So you just got me sitting in here while this motherfucking bill is going up, and up. Now I still come home and I'm still got to pay this shit
off.
I'm
less able to get employed because I've been in prison.
I got a record. Yeah, it's fucked up.
It's the stupidest system, and literally changing that law could have saved somebody's life. Literally could have saved somebody's life.
I agree. Nobody wants to go to. Who the fuck wants to go to jail?
Of course not.
Nobody wants to go to jail. Lil Uzi is one of the richest. I ain't gonna say one of the richest, but he's a very well off rapper nowadays. Yeah. This motherfucker riding on his dirt bike, police get behind him, he takes off running. Why I don't know.
Jail?
Huh?
That's why he went to jail?
Yes, because he fucking tried to get away on the dirt bike, crashed the dirt bike, tried to take off on foot. They called his little ass.
How long you get locked up for?
Which is impressive because Lil Uzi fast as fuck.
That's right. I seen him get away from everybody.
What?
How the fuck
that little motherfucker fast as fuck. So it's very impressive that the police was able to catch Lil Uzi.
He got too cocky running away from his fans at the concert.
Oh, he must have been hurt after crashing on that bike because he was limping.
Hard because that dude could jump over fences.
You just don't catch Lil Uzi, bro.
You can't.
That is a goddamn. That should be an online video.
That's Sonic.
That's Sonic. The fucking hedgehog. All right. Listen, I think we covered everything. Did we talk about Kanye enough?
No, I don't know if we did, but let's do it quick and then we wrap up. What do you think? What's your thing?
I mean, my take is I'm not surprised that Kanye went to go meet with Trump because Kanye already said that he would have voted for Trump. So he's already shown vocal support for Donald Trump. So why is it news that he went to go meet with Donald Trump? I think it's lame of Kanye that you didn't even vote, but now you want to be all up under the president's dick. I wouldn't if I was a motherfucking president and you openly said you didn't vote, I ain't fucking with you. You don't get this. You don't deserve to dick ride me,
right?
And you ain't fucking contributed to these votes.
See, that's how I feel about fighting for America.
What you mean?
Same way. You don't deserve this freedom. You don't deserve all these luxuries if you're not willing to fight for it when someone attacks us.
No, that makes no sense. Kanye had a constitutional right to vote, to participate in our political motherfucking movement.
Sure.
He chose not to.
Yeah.
Now, after I win, you want to support me and fucking come over to Trump Plaza.
Sure.
That's pussy.
You have a constitutional right to fight for your country, and now after we win this war and make sure that we're not invaded by China,
I have a constitutional right to not fight for my country either.
Well, it depends if there's a draft. You don't, but let's say if there's no draft. Let's say China tries to invade and take over the United States of America. You have a choice not to. Let's say you have a choice not to fight. You don't have to fight, but then you're gonna just come back, hop under America's dick once we win the war.
Yeah.
So you're gonna Kanye it.
No.
Yeah, that's Kanye.
No,
you're going to choose
Kanye.
to sit out the election, and then when the person wins, you go kiss their dick. So with the war against China, you choose to sit out the war, and then when America wins, you sit up under America's dick.
I don't have to do anything, but I told y'all 2 weeks ago, Kanye endorsing Trump was pussy after Trump wins.
Absolutely.
Do it before.
Yeah.
That's not a sure bet.
Yeah.
Saying, yo, Trump should be president as a black man in America, somebody like Kanye, that's gangster.
So fight for your say you fight for your country before we go to war.
I'm not saying that because I don't know what the fuck this country would be going to war for. This country would be sending me to fight for weapons of mass destruction that don't motherfucking exist.
What if somebody attacks us? I just said. What if China attacks us?
Put it like this. If somebody attacks America.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting in my motherfucking house.
Yeah.
And these motherfuckers come anywhere near my lawn or near my front door, I'm going to start firing. Okay? So you can say it's on behalf of America, or you can say it was for my own self-interest. Either way, I aided in helping, America fight off these goddamn
until they get off
terrorists.
your lawn, and then you're good.
Off my lawn, hey, bro. I'm calling the neighbor, hey, there's some goddamn Chinese motherfuckers on your lawn wilding right now. All right? Some Chinese, Muslim, Mexicans. Okay? You better go handle your goddamn business. All right.
Okay. Greg, stop it, man. You're freaking people out.
By the way, salute to Greg Schultz. Greg is amazing. All right. We in Boston last week, and I get a text. And the text is from my homegirl, Ashley. And Ashley is like, did Andrew's brother make out with my friend? I said, what? He was tongue kissing the fuck out of her in the club. I mean, they was going at it.
Yeah.
And she was like, really?
Yeah.
I said, hell yeah. She goes, do you know what the first thing he said to us? He goes, hi. What's your favorite kind of sandwich? I like turkey and cheese. Oh, shit. Wow. 15 minutes later, Greg Schultz is tongue kissing that young lady.
He hit it.
You get me no pussy in future.
What?
Get me no pussy in future.
You know what he said? He said he's not getting no pussy in the future. He said I'm not going to get. I'm causing him to not get no pussy in the future.
Oh, you did text her today? Oh, well, he did. Yeah, he fucked in my bed.
The turkey and cheese line.
The turkey and cheese line is good to go, bro.
It worked.
Craig Schultz in this motherfucker.
Yo, before we go, I got to give a huge shout out to Toronto, man. They came out, supported.
You got some pussy in Toronto.
I almost got caught up in some shit in Toronto. I thought some girls I thought it was about to be a wrap for me. I thought I was going to jail.
Why?
I thought some girls set me up.
What happened?
This girl came over. She came over to the house. Chilling. My internet's down by the way of the house, so I got no Wi-Fi.
Oh, just conveniently. So in case you need to tweet for help,
she needs to tweet me. So we start hanging out, whatever, chopping it up, talking. She asked for like something to drink, and I was like, okay, here's some whiskey. I'm already fucked up. So I give her some whiskey. She has a little bit of whiskey, and she has a little bit more whiskey, right? Hanging out a little bit. All of a sudden, she starts to act real drunk.
Whoa.
Right? Like, real drunk. And I'm getting a little weary, but I'm still like, maybe I should, maybe I should get some head or something like that. So she goes, exactly, right? So she goes down, literally does like one suck, comes up and just goes, I don't like the look in your eyes. And then turns over and lays down on the bed, right? I go, what the fuck is going on, right? I go, what the fuck is going on? Then
she hit you with a hezzy, bro.
So she hit me with the
one
hezzy.
Little suck, one little lick, she hit you with a hezzy.
It gets worse. I tap her, right? This girl had like a fucking shot of whiskey. I tap her. I go, hey, is everything okay? Are you okay? She turns over and she goes, where's Andrew Schultz? I go, no, you're not doing this to me. You're not doing this to me. I am not getting caught up in this one. I go next door. I knock on my friend's roommate. This girl's in there, Mariana. I go, Mariana, I need you coming here for a witness, okay? Nothing happened in this situation whatsoever. Listen, I get this girl, completely dressed. Mariana's sitting in the room. I go, I need to get her an Uber. I want this girl out of the house so bad, I turn on Data Roaming. I data roam that Uber. This is Canada. This shit is costing me like $100 fucking just to put the internet on to get data roam. I tell you, I bring her downstairs. Then she's starting fucking wobbly and all this kind of shit. I'm like, this girl must have drugged herself. I literally think she drugged herself first, then came over and drank, and then it could
she might have been on all kind of drugs before she got there.
Was
as soon as she said to me, where's Andrew Schultz, I'd have been like, he's never been here.
Dude, I was considering that shit.
Like, who the hell is Andrew Schultz?
I was freaking out, so I brought her downstairs. I put her on the couch. I laid her on the couch. I didn't want to put her in Uber because she was so drunk or so drugged, whatever the fuck it was. So I put her on the couch. I laid her there on her side in case she had to throw up. Mariana was helping me. And I said, no, this shit has not happened. I went upstairs, went to sleep. Fucking wake up in the morning. This girl opens up the door. Why do you sleep downstairs on the couch?
Did you tell her? Because
you acted crazy.
Goddamn right. I didn't know what the fuck was about to happen.
Dude, I was frightened. I thought it was a wrap for me, dude.
Where's Andrew Schultz? I don't know. He left. Who are you, Joe Vesey?
That's like, no, this is wax.
That way everybody gets off.
That's how
wax wasn't in Canada. Exactly. Neither was Andrew. All right, listen, as always, if you listen to this podcast, you think we're smart, you think we're intelligent, you think we're brilliant, you're absolutely right. If you listen to this podcast and you think we're just a couple of fucking idiots who don't know shit, you're absolutely right. This is the Brilliant Idiots Podcast, and we will be here next week, okay?
Yeah.
It's Christmas